The following is a presentation of Grayson Publishing.
It's Texas high school football, and it's the district championship game in Class 3A, Division I, District 5.
Gallagher looks in the end zone, deep ball, and it's going to be caught easily about 8 yards deep by Dylan Porter for the score. Still on his feet is Shellman to the 10, to the 5, he's in. Touchdown, Bonham.
This week's game is brought to you by Bucksnort Barbecue, Independent Bank, Scoggins Funeral Home, Adams Automotive, GCEC, Randy Pendergrass of TWFG Insurance Services, Texoma Barn Company, and Lone Star Food Store.
25, 20, 15, making a move, makes another move to the 5. He's in. Touchdown, Van Alstyne.
And now let's go live to Warrior Stadium in Bonham, Texas, with Monty Walker and Justin White.
Well, an electric crowd already here in Bonham, Texas. The blankets are out. It's a cold night. It's football time in Texas, and this is what football is all about. Both teams started out this season 0-1, but cleared house through district in a destiny matchup tonight. Undefeated teams, Bonham and Van Alstyne, for the district championship. It will be a classic. It will be a barn burner. Everything that you put the helmets on and the shoulder pads on in August and all those laps that you run in August, it's for games like this, Justin White, and it's already electric.
I'm on. Okay, good. Who would have thought that when they did the scheduling that this game would end up being the championship, district championship at the end of the season here? A lot of people didn't expect Bonham to be this far, do this well. But yeah, electric atmosphere. The weather, it's cold outside, it's football weather. I'm looking forward to this one.
Well, we were able to talk to head coach John Fish of Bonham earlier and had a great conversation with him. He in his first year at Bonham, they want to elect him president. He is from Frisco Lone Star, the offensive coordinator over there, and I tell you what, he has done an outstanding job here in Bonham. They went from basically 0-10 to watch us win. Now they did win a game last year, but hey, I tell you what, Fish has completely turned this thing around. We had a chance to talk to him. Matter of fact, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll let you listen to all the coaches' shows and interviews that we did. We had a chance to talk to quarterback Rhett Gallagher from Van Alstyne and quarterback Tyler Rodriguez of Bonham. That's what this game's going to come down to, those two outstanding quarterbacks. And we're going to take a quick timeout, let you listen to all of that, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company, VA all the way.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com.
Joined here with Van Alstyne head coach Michael Miller. Coach, you're in your 10th season here in Van Alstyne as a head coach and AD. How important is it for your student athletes to have that steady system of 10 years?
I think it's really important, especially for young kids, just to have the consistency of the expectations. They know as seventh graders all the way through our program what we expect. You know, as you bring in new coaches, they're kind of familiar with what you've done here, possibly, and so, you know, it just makes it easier to transition from grade to grade when you have that kind of consistency.
This season started out kind of slow. Playing against larger classifications, Sunnyvale, Gainesville, Aubrey, Anna, those are a lot bigger schools than you. How much has it helped you, though, in district play, having gone through that early season adversity?
It's helped us a bunch. Obviously we didn't plan on scheduling that and then going 0-3. But each one of those weeks, we felt like we got better and better, and we picked up things playing those better teams in bigger schools, things that we needed to fix before we got into district. We'd always stumbled coming out of the gate when we started district, so we kind of wanted to go with a little bit tougher non-district schedule just to prepare us for our district schedule.
This has been the rainiest season that I can remember in 24 years of doing this. You've been on turf every week. How much of an advantage is that for you?
It's been huge. We're very, very blessed here in Van Alstyne to have the facilities that we have, to be able to go out there every day and practice. There were a few days because of the heavy rain or lightning that we did go into a gym, but, we could have went outside almost every day. So we've been very, very fortunate where other people, weren't able to get out there. The biggest thing is having the markings on the field, your spacing, and being able to throw the ball, which is an important part of our offense. So, we're able to go out there every day, and that's been a blessing for us.
Your quarterback, Rhett Gallagher, makes everything go. He's a dual threat on offense, running and passing. He's got a lot of great players around him on offense. Talk about your offense a little bit.
Well, obviously, Rhett's the one that makes it go, and I just can't say enough about Rhett and the kind of young man he is. He's a great athlete. He's a great baseball player, runs track for us, just very, very, very well-rounded young man, does a lot in our community, just a tremendous young man, and also a leader and also a very, very good football player. But, he's got some guys that help make him go. Jake Carroll's really come on strong as our running back this year. We had some injuries early on, and Jake stepped up and has had a really, really terrific year. Our offensive line led by Maxwell Nazarko, he's done a really, really good job. And then the one area we thought we would be strong in with the most returning starters we had coming back is our receivers. And those guys have just gotten better and better and better. And their timing with Rhett, their spacing, their blocking downfield for each other in our screen games and stuff like that has just been really, really special to watch those guys gel together.
Now, you take on Bonham for the district championship. People think that your defense could be the key to this football game. The Warriors are a lot like you offensively. They have a quarterback who makes everything go. He can run, he can throw. Is it your defense that you think this game will come down to? And talk about your defense a little bit.
Well, it's going to come down to somebody's defenses because you got two offenses that are typically scoring lots of points. And, I would hope that it would be our defense. They have gotten better and better each and every week. I think we match up decently with those guys across the board. We've got some guys, Zach Monsier, Aaron Palacio, our linebackers, who have really been playing well. Matthew Mitchell on our defensive line. Hunter Griffin has had a really, really good season for us so far this year. And then Gage Proctor in our secondary. He's kind of the quarterback of our defense. He gets us all lined up, ready to go. So, I think those guys will come ready to play. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge slowing down or hopefully stopping, Bonham. But I think those guys will be up to it.
That's head coach Michael Miller from Van Alstyne. When we come back, we'll talk to John Fish, head coach from Bonham.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance, Randy Pendergrass, supports the Bonham Purple Warriors. All right, we're joined now with Bonham head coach John Fish. You came to Bonham from Frisco Lone Star, where you're the offensive coordinator and had great success over there. What's the transition been like from Frisco to Bonham?
It's been a great one. Obviously people see Frisco and what it's grown into and just the massive city and economic kind of factory that it's kind of become. Coming to Bonham, obviously it's a little bit different. We're out here, just south of Red River and kind of a little bit separated from that. But I think really when you start talking about kids and the type of kids we have, there's a direct correlation between the kids we had at Lone Star and the kids at Bonham. At this day and age, kids are kids. So, whether you're in Bonham, Texas or Frisco Lone Star, these kids have the same, desires and needs, and they still are, all kind of worried about the same thing. things. I mean, kids are kids, but we know that just like a Lone Star we brought here is it's about relationships and the relationships we have with kids. So the transition's been incredible. It's been kind of seamless, if you will. But at the end of the day, we all know as a staff that we love kids, and regardless of where we're at, it'll work.
Until this season, the Warriors hadn't had a winning record since '05. People are talking about voting you for president. You've won 8 straight over here. What's the difference in this team and so many others here in Bonham?
I think the reality of this for our kids is that they've worked really hard, and it hadn't been just this year. The ups and downs that they've gone through since they were in 7th grade, even. I mean, the number. You talk about coaches in and out and different things going on. I think what separated us from the past is what our focus is. Whereas most coaches kind of focus on the wins, the losses, scheming people, how to implement game plans and installing packages from day one. Our focus from day one isn't that. Our focus is everything else. It's the details. We have, really 5 principles that we base our life. We call it the way of the warrior, and it's, we start with discipline. We start with the details. We believe that if we take care of details, the main idea gets handled. And so, from day one, we focused on being the type of men that represent this team, this program, and we focus on relationships. We focus on what it means to be a warrior, and that's been the focus from day one. We didn't worry about the football. When you have great kids and you have kids that are bought into your program, whether you're lining up in the I formation or spreading the ball out in an air raid offense, it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, it's about the kids and about the program and about what your culture and your philosophy are. And the football then kind of takes care of itself. And so, that's been our focus. I think that's what's made the difference in our kids. You've seen them in times throughout the year, had their back against the wall. Adversity. You go back to Pottsboro where we went on a last-second field goal. Our kids battle. And the reason they're able to overcome those things, we believe, is because of what we focus on.
Well, one thing you focused on is that air raid offense, your high-octane offense.
Offensively, people hear air raid and they immediately think of, images of Mike Leach and Texas Tech, and, that's not what we are. People hear spread and they think you're going to throw it 80 times a game. That's not who we are. We're a spread football team, but we're going to pull in what we do, but we're great at what we do. And then we add wrinkles each week, and we just kind of build off of that. It's about the kids, and you bring up a kid like Tyler Rodriguez. Everywhere I've gone, I've been very blessed to have kids that we are quarterback driven, and I've had really good kids at quarterback. And we've had different kids. I've had kids like MJ Rivers or Jason Shelley or back at Del City, the Chazin Gonzalez's of the world that are great athletes. They're super talented, and they can go and do great things with the football in their hand. And I've had the flip side of that, where kids that are really just get back there and be operators. And the beauty of the offensive system is that it still goes. You just have to have a guy back there that you trust. And so you bring up Tyler Rodriguez, who he may very well be the best quarterback I've ever coached, and that's talking in talks with kids that are playing on Saturdays right now. Tyler has every intangible that you could ask for. He's a great kid. He's extremely intelligent, and he's extremely talented. And he really this past year has stepped up in the leadership aspect. And I think that's what set him apart. Is from day one, the kid came to my office and said, "How do I get this team? How do I get them to buy into this?" And seeing a kid that's 17 years old come to your office and from day one buy in like that, I mean that makes it special. So whether whoever it is back there, this kid, it's going to be quarterback centered, but having a kid like Tyler Rodriguez is what makes it really go.
And everybody talks about both offenses. Yours, the high octane, we've talked about that. Van Alstyne, very similar. In games like this, district championship or any championship game, it usually comes, at least what I've seen, it comes down to the defensive play. Do you think that'll be the case tonight?
I think it's a culmination of the defensive play, and I think it's really who makes the least amount of mistakes. When you have two great football teams playing each other, ultimately, people get focused on the big plays, but it's really not who makes the most plays; it's who makes the least amount of mistakes. I think that's the type of ball game we're going to have tonight. I also think, you talk about defense, our defense is only up and up. I've got a first-year defense coordinator, Brad Clark, who's just done an incredible job throughout the year. I mean, each week he has gotten some kind of new offensive system to have to line up to and play against. And when you're talking about a bunch of 16, 17-year-old kids going out and playing assignment football defensively, that's not always real easy. But, seeing him and how they've grown each week, unfortunately, past couple of weeks, we've squandered some really great defensive performances by turning the football over offensively. So that's why I bring up the mistakes. Is I think that if we can go out there and whatever team plays the cleanest ball game, I think you're going to see that defense obviously step up, and there's a direct correlation between those two things.
Do you look at this game as kind of a home playoff game?
Playoffs are a week away. And I think really, what we've the message we've sent our kids is, number one, there's nothing more exciting than winning a district title outside of a state championship. But that wasn't, at the beginning of the year, we talked about 3 goals. And district title wasn't one of those goals. A lot of people will scratch their head about that. But the reality is a district title is awesome. It's a reward for having a great regular season. But the number one goal was make the playoffs. And the second goal was to eat playoff turkey, which is to play playoffs during Thanksgiving. Man, there's nothing better. It's the best tasting turkey you'll ever eat. And then ultimately win a state championship. The district title, what I love about this situation for our kids is it's football at its purest form. Ultimately, it's going to decide who gets first and who gets second in our district. But playoffs are next week. I think what you're going to get tonight is a crowd that is excited, an incredible atmosphere, but it's football at its purest form. It really doesn't have a huge bearing on the postseason. Yeah, it's a seeding situation, but the reality is these kids are all out here playing for a district title on a Friday night, a cool Friday night, and the crowd's going to be packed. It's going to be an incredible environment and atmosphere, and it's going to be fun. And I think that's what I want to focus on more than just playoff atmosphere. Sure, maybe the atmosphere, but it's just about fun tonight.
That's head coach John Fish for the Bonham Warriors. We'll be back right after this. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is the result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers. They were joined with Van Alstyne quarterback Rhett Gallagher. Rhett, you are a baseball player, not only just a quarterback. Talk about baseball a little bit, and what do you play here at Van Alstyne?
Baseball is my primary sport, and in high school ball, I pitch and catch and play outfield. But in summer ball and college ball, I'll just be playing catcher, middle infield, and outfield.
Now you said college ball. Where have you committed, or where are you going, and what are you going to do?
I'm going to the University of Missouri, and I'm going to major in business, play baseball.
So let's talk a little bit about some other things that you're involved with. The Special Olympics organization, you've been lending your time to that group. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, I love sports, and that's what I do all the time. But that's way more important than anything that we ever do out there. That's making those kids' lives instead of just winning a game,
So how important is that to see those kids, and what's the biggest moment maybe to you in that Special Olympics atmosphere?
It's real important just to remember that they are kids, and they love fun just like we do, and so being pent up in the school all day, that's no fun. So whenever they get to come out here and compete and just seeing the smiles that they have, and just they compete, they get after it, and I love seeing that.
Well, let's talk about some other sports you're involved with here in Van Alstyne. Are you on the track team, and if you are, what do you do?
Yes, sir. I long jump, triple jump, and then I'm on the 100-meter relay, 200-meter relay, and then 100-meter dash.
And you're also on the golf team. What do you shoot?
Not very good. Hit the ball a long way. Don't know where it's going.
Let's talk a little bit about football now. Quarterback, you've been involved in a quarterback competition basically since you've been in high school. You've kind of come out on top of that here in the last couple of years. Talk about how that's worked out and how it's made you a better quarterback.
Well, it's really it's taught me how to fight through some struggle, because, in middle school, it's all just about who's the fastest, and then whoever's fast, they throw back there. And then sophomore year, Gage started at quarterback, and I was receiver, and then he went down with mono, and then I hurt my hip, so I had to pretty much just pocket pass the whole time. And then the next year, we had a quarterback competition, and then he ended up getting a concussion, so that kind of answered that, and then we just started rolling, and so now he's playing F, which is like a tight end fullback combo, and he's one of my best friends easily, and so it's all ended up being great, working out like that, because in my opinion, you can't have a better situation to have than a quarterback competition between us two, so that's just me.
Well, let's talk about your offense, and it is rolling. You guys, you didn't even hit the pause button on Hal last week, and what's your idea of going in against Bonham and trying to continue that momentum?
We're always just trying to put up points any way that we can. We'll take them how we get them. If we got to air it out, it's what we'll do. If we got to run the ball, it's what we'll do. We'll just take what we can get.
What kind of coach is Coach Miller?
Coach Miller, he's always a motivating coach. He motivates through leadership, He believes that doing it with you, not just being a dictator, that's what gets going. It's worked. That's what gets us going.
So the game Friday night, Bonham, Van Alstyne, both offenses very similar, quarterback-led offenses. Both quarterbacks run. Both quarterbacks can throw. Is this game going to come down to the defense?
It's going to come down to everybody. Special teams, offense, defense. It's going to come down to every last play that's played out there on that field. That's going to be what dictates the outcome. So,
okay, you talk like a coach. When you get done with business and everything at Mizzou, are you going to go back into coaching at some point?
That's not on the agenda right now, but you never know what can happen in 5 years. So we'll see.
That's Van Alstyne quarterback Rhett Gallagher. When we come back, we'll talk to his counterpart, the Bonham quarterback, Tyler Rodriguez. Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texacona Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh. A large dining area with free Wi-Fi. Newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
All right, now we're visiting with Bonham quarterback Tyler Rodriguez, one of the area's leading passers, I think second leading passer in the area. Let's talk a little bit about things off the football field first. What are some of the things you're involved with here at Bonham High?
Well, then other than the sports that I play, football, basketball, and track, I'm involved in the NHS, which I'm the vice president of, and I'm a part of the robotics team.
So your robotics program, I understand that's something to do with trash cleanup in the ocean or something like that. What's going on with that?
Yes, so we went to a competition that the theme of it was cleaning trash out of the ocean, and we had to build a robot that simulated that, and we actually did very well in that. We were 2 spots away from making it to state.
Wow. So your coach says that you're going to be president one day, that you're involved in all kinds of stuff. National Honor Society, what are some of the things that you do in that?
Besides helping out within our school and teaching others and within the community or the school how to be leaders, we go and help the community and support our school and try to raise awareness for that.
Other sports you're involved in?
Basketball and track.
And what do you do in track?
Track, I do the 100, 4x1, and the 4x2, and the field events, I do long and triple jump.
So I understand you were a regional qualifier last year.
I was. Got 4th in regionals, and with a PR of 22:10.
So eventual state champion?
Eventual state champion, yes.
Let's talk about football now. Offensively, you guys are a machine. Over 440 yards per game. That's quite a lot of offense. And talk about your offensive philosophy.
Our offensive philosophy is no turnovers, and it's doing our assignment and doing our jobs. And we recognize that once we do our jobs, we'll all collectively come together as one unit, and that's why we have success.
You're surrounded by a lot of good players, Shellman, Stevenson, Stewart. Talk about those guys and how they make you better.
Just them being able to get into open space and do what they do best, that's the best you can ask for when you're a quarterback, relying on those guys to make plays whenever you can't. It's great to have those guys.
What about your coach? What kind of coach is he?
Coach Fish is a great coach. He always brings the energy, always brings the juice. He's brought a new level of football knowledge to Bonham and the players around here, and he's really given us a lot of insight of how to become better athletes and better people on and off the field.
The game here is in your backyard on your turf. It's a huge game. It's for the district championship. Is it like a home playoff game for you?
I guess some could say that. The atmosphere is going to be great. I know the last home game we had, homecoming with Lone Oak, it was one of the greatest home games I think I've ever experienced with the amount of crowd and people that were here. So I know that the turnout is going to be a lot more than what it usually is, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be great.
Van Alstyne has a great offense, and they're very similar to you offensively and the same kind of weapons. These games sometimes come down to the defense. Do you think that's the case here?
Yeah. It's going to be the battle of the defenses. I trust our defense. I trust our offense. Trust our special teams. We have a great coaching staff and great players that will listen to these coaches, and as long as they get their jobs done, then it's going to be a great game.
That's Tyler Rodriguez, a quarterback from the Bonham Warriors. We'll be back right after this.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company. VA all the way.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com.
Welcome back. We are live at Bonham Warrior Stadium. Lonnie Walker along with Justin White. We have Stephen Braswell, our spotter, back with us. Blake Burnett back with us. He'll be doing stats tonight, and on the sideline, as always, is Caroline Slauson. She'll be roaming the sidelines down there tonight. Let's go over the starting lineups for both teams. For the Van Alstyne Panthers up front, Jacob Taylor, Sawyer Callies, Noel Tormos, and Maxwell Nazarko, and the right tackle, Jake Loganbill. The wide receivers tonight for the Van Alstyne Panthers, Dylan Porter, who caught a touchdown against the Bulldogs a week ago against Howe. There's Drellin Davis, who will be split out wide as well, and Nathan Cuthbertson, the slot, along with Sam Rimpel. The quarterback who makes everything go is Rhett Gallagher. On the season, 87 completions out of 138 attempts, 4 interceptions, 1,280 yards, and 19 touchdowns. He's also rushed 83 times for 526 yards. That's an 8.3-yard average on the ground for the quarterback, Rhett Gallagher, 7 touchdowns on the ground. He'll be flanked to his right and to his left at times by Jake Carroll, the junior running back, who has 115 carries, 962 yards, 14 touchdowns. And that is your Van Alstyne Panther starting offense. The starting D for Van Alstyne is Hunter Griffin up front, whose father is David Griffin, who helped sponsor this broadcast. David Griffin owns Texoma Barn Company. We say thank you to him and good luck to Hunter Griffin, the defensive end, who is 5'10", 190. Joining him up front, Cade Morgan and Matthew Mitchell. The defensive end, Paul O'Loughlin. The cornerbacks tonight for Van Alstyne, Drellin Davis and Cam Montgomery. The linebackers, Austin Moore, Aaron Palacio, Zach Monsier, and Sam Rimpel. The quarterback, if you will, on defense, who is the safety, Gage Proctor. That's what Coach Miller called him the quarterback on defense. Of course, he was involved in a quarterback controversy here. I don't know if you call it a controversy as much as you do just a competition. But Gage Proctor is the starting safety for the Van Alstyne Panthers tonight. Let's go over the Bonham offense for you. Starting up front from left to right, Jeremiah Ryan, the left tackle. Sam Porter, the left guard. Blake Wells, the center. The right guard is Alex Arande, and the right tackle is Jacob Kennedy. Split out wide, very dangerous offense, as well as Van Alstyne. These are two top-tier grade offenses. Jarrell Stewart is the wideout. It shows 5'10", 155, but he plays much bigger than that. I would be very surprised if he's only 5'10". On the other side of him is Tristan Singleton, and the slot receiver, Noah Shellman. He's very dangerous, 57 catches, 762 yards. He's only trailing Jarrell Stewart in the receiving category. He has 11 touchdowns. Stewart has 10 and 838 yards receiving on 39 catches. Another slot receiver is Nick Reinhardt. He's a very Cole Beasley-like, 36 catches, 432 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's a sophomore and one of the very few non-seniors for Bonham. Of course, the guy who makes everything turn on this offense is Tyler Rodriguez, the senior quarterback you heard from a moment ago. He is outstanding. He has got some incredible numbers, 150 completions out of 199 attempts, 6 interceptions, over 2,000 yards, 2188, and 30 touchdowns passing. But that's not all. 98 carries, 1,208 yards rushing, and 21 touchdowns on the ground. Holy smokes. Tyler Rodriguez is an incredible quarterback in this system. He'll be flanked by Hayden Stevenson, the running back, 91 carries, 664 yards rushing, and 5 touchdowns. Also has 12 receptions for 112. Talked about John Fish, the head coach of Bonham in his first year. Outstanding coach. Comes over from Frisco Lone Star before making the move here. He helped lead the team that has now become a state powerhouse over in Frisco. He also served as an offensive coordinator at Dell City in Oklahoma. He's a graduate of UCO. He replaces Tony Johnson, who went 5-25 in 3 seasons here in Bonham, including a 3-7 record a year ago. And Bonham missed the playoffs on a 3-way coin flip tiebreaker after getting into the postseason on a tiebreaker in 2016. Bonham has not had a winning record since going 6-4 in 2005. This year they're 8-1, and they've won 8 straight. And it's because most people say of Coach Fish and his offensive philosophy and the things that he has done with this program, they will vote for him for president in Bonham if they could. They are averaging 446 yards of offense, 223 on the ground, 223 in the air. That's as balanced as you can get. On the flip side, you've got Michael Miller, the head coach of Van Alstyne, who's 69-40 overall. He replaced Brian Polk back in 2009, and since then has just been outstanding here. He went 10-1 in his first season at Van Alstyne before losing to Salina in the playoffs. The following year went 8-3, lost to Gainesville in the playoffs. 2011 went 9-4, lost to Gilmer in the playoffs. In 2012, they missed the playoffs. In 2013, went 7-5, lost to Malakoff 35-28 in the playoffs. 2014 missed the playoffs. In 2015, went 6-5, lost in the playoffs to Sunnyvale, and that's the Sunnyvale run. Sunnyvale beat them again in 16 after a 7-4 season, and again in 17 after an 8-3 season, and here they are now at 6-3 on the year, only because of a really tough non-district schedule. The Van Alstyne Panthers could very well be 8-1, just like Bonham, had they played a normal regular schedule instead of playing teams like Anna and Gainesville and Aubrey and Sunnyvale. You know, those teams, it's hard to compete. We've done Howe games, and you know how hard it is to compete with schools that are not on the same level enrollment-wise, Justin White.
Yeah, that's going to help them, I think, with Van Alstyne, help them with the competition as they go into the playoffs, playing tougher competition, bigger schools, to kind of help them iron things out there early in the season, preparing for moments like these, almost like they're getting ready for coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Van Alstyne on offense through district play have averaged 46.4 points per game and only allowed 10.6. That's a pretty healthy average on both sides of the ball. You flip it over to Bonham in district play. They're averaging almost 56.6 on offense, but giving up 37.6 on defense. So not as good defensively in the district play, same teams, but better offensively against the same teams. Now, Van Alstyne, if you look at their last 3 games, 38 points, 42 points, 60 points, they've progressed in each of the past 3 weeks on offense. Bonham, 52 points, 63 points, 63 points. They've also progressed as the season has gone along. If you look at comparables between common opponents, against Rains, Van Alstyne has a plus 37 in those games over Bonham. Against Pottsboro, Van Alstyne has a plus 14 in those comparable games. Against Howe, Van Alstyne has a plus 37 in those games. Bonham, in the games against Lone Oak, has the advantage by 5 points, and against Commerce has the advantage by 3 points. If you're throwing out predictions out there, projections for tonight's score, you've had one. We all took projections. This doesn't mean anything. Nobody's pulling for anybody tonight. This is a neutral broadcast.
No money was bet on the game tonight.
There's no pro Bonham or pro VA or no against VA or against Bonham tonight. We just want to see a great football game. But if you break down the numbers and you look at everything, there's a couple of different opinions with us and the broadcast. Justin, I believe you have Van Alstyne 45-31 as your prediction.
Correct.
Blake has 55-45 Bonham. Stephen Braswell has 48-42 Bonham. Caroline has 48-27 Bonham, and I've got 42-35 Van Alstyne. So we're split up here. You know, it's one of those things where this is one of those games that you just never know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Both teams are so comparable offensively. It's going to come down, perhaps, to defense and turnovers.
Yeah, when you got two teams that both can score at big numbers, yeah, there's no telling what this how big this thing can get.
Well, it's going to be a great one. We know that, and the teams are almost ready to come out of the tunnel. Van Alstyne is coming into theirs. Let's check down with Caroline Slauson for the first. Well, let's wait because Bonham's hitting the field right now. They're coming out of their tunnel, and we've got a big crowd in Bonham, Texas, and Bannon County tonight, and you can hear them.
Yeah, guys, it is quite a crowd on both sides. Very cold out here, though, but definitely football weather. It's going to be a great game. I'm really excited.
Here come the Van Alstyne Panthers. They're in all white. Pretty nice crowd on the far side. I believe it'll get, it looks like the Field of Dreams coming into the parking lot over there on the south side of the stadium as people are still trying to find a place to park and get in here. There's not a lot of parking. There's a heck of a lot more seats than there are parking spaces.
A lot of excitement here in Bonham. They're trying to fill up the crowd here on this side. Van Alstyne's still got a little bit of room over there.
Bonham in all maroon. They've got maroon tops, maroon helmets, and I think that's black pants. They have black pants and black socks. Van Alstyne in all white pants, white jerseys, white helmets with the blue paw. They take a knee in the west end zone on the south side of the stadium for prayer, and the Bonham Warriors are lining up, getting ready for the coin toss. It appears the captains for tonight for the Bonham Warriors will be Chris Wilson and Tyler Rodriguez, along with Nick Reinhardt and one other that's standing in the way. He's right in front of his teammate, and I can't tell who it is. That might be Brant Stuber. Nope, it's Greg Taft. Don't know. They're holding a jersey down there, and I don't know what that's about. Maybe Caroline can find out what that's about. And we're talking about Bonham. We're talking about Bonham down here.
Yeah, they're holding 81 there.
We'll find out the number 81 jersey that's being held out at the 50-yard line. Caroline will get on that. We'll see what that's about. Coach Fish is down there. He was in a vest. He looked very Landry-like earlier. Not in the suit and tie, but dressed up for this one. On the far side, we're waiting on the officials to bring the captains out. And it appears to be Justin Barnes, Drellin Davis, and Austin Moore perhaps, and maybe Maxwell Nazarko, the captains for Van Alstyne. I'm not sure exactly what we're waiting on.
I don't know either. They're both on the sidelines looking at each other, and nobody's come forward yet.
And now the officials are going to take the captains out, I believe. Again, now they start walking towards center court. And the entire Bonham team, which is stacked full of kids, they stretch from the 35 to the 35 nearabouts. And Van Alstyne will keep their team on the sidelines, but the captains come out. And again, it's Barnes, Davis, and Nazarko. For Bonham, it's Rodriguez, Reinhardt, Taft, and Wilson. And we'll have Caroline down in there for the coin toss.
77, Chris Wilson.
All right, guys, we have already done a flip. We have already done a flip. They're going to win the toss. They're going to. So, you called tails. It is tails. Good job. You win. What are you going to do? You want to receive? Kick from? All right, you line up right there with him. You guys line up right here with me.
Okay, it appears that the Bonham Warriors have won the toss and elected to receive. Is that correct? I thought Van Alstyne might have deferred, but
I couldn't tell. I had a hard time hearing there.
But apparently, well, we know this. Bonham's going to receive to start this football game, and they'll be moving left to right. We're going to take a quick timeout during the national anthem. We'll be right back right after this.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors.
With that, it is football time in Texas over here in Fannin County. It's a classic for the district championship. Two undefeated teams, Bonham and Van Alstyne. And the Warriors, the Purple Warriors, will receive to start this football game. They'll be moving left to right from our left to right, which is, I think in this stadium, east to west. So they'll be moving east to west here. A well-lit stadium. It's a synthetic turf field. It's a very nice stadium. The press box perhaps may need to be the next on the list, but hey, I tell you what, it's a great venue over here. We've got a great vantage point, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's great facilities here. Yeah, it looks like put the press box maybe next on the bond issue or in the budget there to update, but it's still a good facility here.
So lining up to receive for the Bonham Warriors will be Noah Shellman deep at the 18-yard line. And Van Alstyne runs the quail onside. They don't kick it. And now they'll have 3 different kickers that run in a different formation. Austin Moore, along with Aaron Beckham and Kern, will switch and alternate. And now it's going to be Beckham kicking the onside kick right near, just past the 50-yard line. Van Alstyne says they have the football, and they do. They've come up with the football to start this football game on an onside kick. And on the recovery for Van Alstyne is going to be the cornerback, Cam Montgomery.
They did the same thing against Howe last week, and he kind of had Howe baffled there as the ball takes a couple of bounces, and Van Alstyne able to jump on it. Now there's a flag, it looks like, or at least the officials are discussing something.
It may have happened after the play, although they have not moved the sticks anywhere. So they're going to say Van Alstyne was offsides. So forget everything.
That's a big bullet dodge by Bonham.
Boy, that is huge. That's a huge mistake to start this football game by the Panthers.
I like the aggressiveness, though, by Van Alstyne.
Yeah, that's the second week in a row that they've done the onside, and they were successful, just someone went a little bit too early. They'll back it up to the 35-yard line, and now they'll try to do this one more time. They're huddled up on the 30 on the far side, and now they'll break out of the huddle with their coach and come near side. The ball in the middle of the field. It's going to be teed up at the 35-yard line. Bonham should have pretty good field position if they kick it deep here, and I would imagine they'd go ahead and kick it deep now. Fake the quail onside again. We'll see who kicks it, whether it's Kern, Moore, or Beckham. And it's going to be Beckham, and he's going to kick it a squib deep. And apparently it's going to be caught by Shellman, who bumbles it for a minute. It rolls to the 5, to the 3, where he picks it up. And Van Alstyne is in great coverage inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So Bonham, they do have the football to start the game, which is what they wanted, but they're way back deep in their own territory at the 8-yard line.
Shellman got that, and bumbled it a couple of times and kind of took his time back there to pick it up, and then got just handled right there at the 10-yard line, manhandled by a bunch of white shirts there for the Panthers. Looks like led by number 22, Aaron Palacio, their senior linebacker.
So it's first and 10 for the Bonham Warriors, and now we see the all-world quarterback Tyler Rodriguez. He'll have Stevenson right behind him. Pistol formation. Now Stevenson comes up. Shotgun. Rodriguez sends a man in motion. They fake it to him. He wants to throw. Left side. Now he's going to tuck it. Now he throws it. And it's almost intercepted, but it's caught at the 45-yard line. Out of nowhere, making the catch. I believe that's Shellman down at the 48 in an injured player. It's Reinhardt, rather, who made the catch. A great catch, but he is down.
Rodriguez rolled to his left, had plenty of time to throw the ball, threw it kind of across his body or kind of off balance a little bit, and almost got intercepted and picked off there. But Reinhardt, he was able to thread the needle right to Reinhardt. But Reinhardt, yes, is down at the 48-yard line, and that would be a huge loss for them, not only for offensively, but also special teams. Reinhardt is their main kicker.
That would be a massive loss if that were to stand, if Reinhardt's not able to come back. As Coach Fish takes a look, now he comes back, and this appears like it might be an injury, a long-standing injury here. So we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Oh, he's getting up. Every time we do that.
Yeah, I know, about to say.
Every time we say, okay. So now Reinhardt is being carried off. He's putting no weight on his right foot whatsoever. That is the kicker for Bonham as well. That would be a massive loss for the Bonham Warriors to start this football game. Again, Reinhardt, a big part of their offense as well. We said he was the Cole Beasley of the offense. 36 catches, 432 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns. We'll have to check and see who takes his place, and apparently it is going to be Cade Bowser And I think he's a sophomore. First down and 10, left to right. Big gain up to the 45. Rodriguez rolls out right, looking to run, looking for the edge. He's got the 50. He's got the 45. And out of bounds on the Van Alstyne side at the 43-yard line.
That was a keeper all the way around the right side. Tyler Rodriguez is the piston of this offensive machine, this offensive motor here for Bonham. He makes it go. So does Rhett Gallagher for Van Alstyne, but Rodriguez is more of a threat on offense, running the ball and passing the ball.
They'll spot it at the 43, left to right in the pistol. Now Stevenson stands next to Rodriguez, and he gets the carry. First time tonight, up the middle, got the 40. Spins out of a tackle, about a 5-yard gain to the 36-yard line, 37.
Just a draw at the middle. Stevenson comes in, 91 carries, 664 yards, 5 touchdowns. And just a draw at the middle. They can run the ball and pass the ball. They balance it out very effectively.
Austin Moore, the linebacker, makes the stop. Rodriguez wants it quickly. Now it's the quarterback draw up the middle, and that one's nicely played by the Panthers. No gain on the play. Will bring up third down and about 5.
Looks like number 58 there, Hunter Griffin, who head coach for Van Alstyne talked about that. He's one of the main leaders on that defensive line. They're able to get the stop.
Griffin, an outstanding defensive end, has had lots of help in camps over the summers. Third down, 4.5, 5-yard line, pistol formation. Rodriguez now steps to the left. And they're going to hand off to Stevenson up the middle. He could go 25, 20, 15, kissing goodbye. Touchdown Bonham to start this football game with 10-14 left to go in the first.
They just take what the defense gives them. The defensive line, there was nobody really at the second level. They had the defenders spread out. Stevenson got past the defensive line, and there was nobody there. He was able to walk into the end zone for the last 20 yards if he wanted to.
So now we'll see who's going to take the place of Reinhardt into kick. And it's going to be Oscar Gandera. Gandera's kick is high. Boy, that didn't miss a beat, and it's good. 7-0. Bonham in the lead with 10-14 left to go here in quarter number 1. We will be right back right after this timeout.
You're invited to the one and only Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Bucksnort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is the result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gandera to kick off for Bonham as they lead 7-0 early in this football game. 10-14 left to go in quarter number 1, and we're ready for the kickoff. Teed up at the 40, and it's going to be a high kick, going to bounce at the 20 and be taken at the 21 by Austin Moore, who's got a seam. Look out, 40. It's a foot race midfield to the 40, 35, 20, 15. Tripped up, but goes flying in the end zone. 81 yards on the kickoff return, and Van Alstyne answers right back.
We knew it was going to be high scoring, but we assumed it was going to be more on the offensive side. The special teams wanted something to do with it. Got the ball at the 20-yard line, got it on the bounce, and just found a hole and just able to run it. It was off to the races. Then it was a track meet.
Holy moly. All right.
Buckle up. Here we go.
So it's 7-6, awaiting the PAT. Now Gallagher, we have yet to see him in at quarterback, and they've already got 6 points. It appears they're going to go for the PAT. Last week they started out with the 2-point conversion as Gallagher ran it in against Howe, but Beckham set to kick the PAT. Gallagher with the hold. Beckham's kick looks true, and it is, and we're all knotted up, and Van Alstyne answers right back. Put your seat belts on. It's a barn burner in Bonham, Texas.
At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Holy moly. 7-7. We've got a great game already.
Wow.
Van Alstyne fakes the Quail onside, and we'll see the trickery from the 3 kickers, Austin Moore, Kern, and Beckham. We'll see who kicks it this time. It's going to be Beckham again, and there's the high onside kick. Fair catch called for at the 46-yard line of Bonham. They were ready for that one. This time they fielded it, and Bonham will start. Let's check down with Caroline Slauson. It's pretty electric out there.
Guys, yeah, this is really fun. I gotta say, y'all mentioned the number 81 jersey. You saw the Bonham captains walk with it to the middle of the field. That belonged to Jake Hugh. His senior year would have been this year. He passed away when he was a freshman. So they're honoring him tonight.
What an honor. Quite an honor.
Nice.
Very classy by the Bonham Warriors as they come out on offense again. A moment ago, they went 5 plays and 92 yards for the score, capped off by a 37-yard score by Stevenson. He gets the carry again right up the middle. It's another foot race and about a 14-yard gain before he's finally tripped up in Van Alstyne territory by Proctor, the safety, who saved the touchdown at the 39-yard line. And Bonham was trying to hurry up and go, but Van Alstyne has an injured player back at the 46. And that is defensive end Hunter Griffin.
I'll tell you what, that left side of the line there, Jeremiah Ryan and Sam Porter, the left tackle and left guard, opened up big holes there for Stevenson. And he was almost untouched there before he got about 10 yards up the field.
So an injury, and now it apparently getting up. Hunter Griffin's going to be okay. He walks off, not being carried off at all. But we've got a tie game. There's 9:57 left on the first quarter clock, and we've already had so much electricity in this game. You knew it was going to be a classic, and so far you're getting your money's worth. 1st and 10, left to right, Bonham in the pistol formation. Rodriguez, and now Stevenson moves beside him, just to his right. Man in motion is Shellman. They toss it to him. Shellman trying to find the near corner, looking for a block, all the way from one side to the other. He's only going to gain a couple of yards as he's pushed out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
Sam Rimpel with the able to push him out of bounds, but good job there by the Panther defense there to not let him get. He was trying to find a corner. They did a good job there extending and keeping him there contained, keeping Shellman contained, only a 2-yard gain.
2nd down and 8. The scoreboard says 7. It looks more like 8. 9:42 on the clock. It stopped as Shellman was able to get out of bounds. A nice crowd on both sides. Van Alstyne traveled well tonight, as they should. District championship game. 2nd down and 8. Stevenson just to the left of Rodriguez. He's going to get the carry right up the middle and gain about 4. They'll say his knee hit at the 34-yard line. He dove forward for more than that, but his knee apparently touched. And that's where they'll spot it at the 34, bringing up a 3rd down and 5.
Again, Coach Fish and Tyler Rodriguez talk about we just take what the defense gives us. Right now, they're just letting them run the ball now. They're keeping it out of Tyler Rodriguez's hands. And so far, Stevenson is getting yardage.
Hunter Griffin back into the game for the Van Alstyne Panthers at the defensive end position. Stevenson just to the left of Rodriguez, sends a man in motion and looking to throw deep down the field. Rodriguez doesn't have anywhere to go, now flushed and just throws it out of bounds. A nice play of heads-up ball, just throwing it out of bounds as he was under great pressure from the Van Alstyne Panther front. It's going to be Zach Smith who is right in the face of Rodriguez, and that'll stop the clock at 8:58 and bring up a 4th down and 5.
Maxwell Nazarko was coming through too from linebacker position, came through, and good block there by Stevenson to kind of hold him off there a little bit while Rodriguez surveyed the field and but couldn't find anything. But this is a 4-down territory, obviously, from their own, or from the Panther 34.
Going for it at the Panther 34. Rodriguez has Stevenson to his left, and he wants to throw. Two-step drop, screen pass, throws it right over the head of Stevenson, incomplete. And Van Alstyne will take the football at their own 34-yard line to start their first offensive possession of the night.
We had Hunter Griffin and Zachary Monsieur coming down at him, so he had to get rid of that a little bit quicker than he liked on that swing pass out the left side, just overshot Stevenson. So good job there by the Panthers, making Rodriguez uncomfortable there in the pocket, made him overthrow his receiver.
We'll see Rhett Gallagher for the first time tonight on offense, 87 out of 138, 4 interceptions, 19 touchdowns, 1,280 through the air, 526 on the ground, 7 touchdowns. He'll be in the pistol with Jake Carroll standing right behind him. 1st and 10, right to left. Van Alstyne sends Rempel in motion. Gallagher wants it, and he hands off to Carroll around the right edge. He's got a seam. He's a lot of room to midfield. 45, 40, makes a cut to the 30, and down just inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A big run by Jake Carroll on the very first offensive play for Van Alstyne.
A handoff there around the right side, right behind that right tackle, and got into Warrior territory. They're going to hurry up and go. Here we go.
Quick offense as Gallagher wants to throw deep down the field in the end zone, and that's going to be caught. Dylan Porter about 9 yards deep in the end zone, and Van Alstyne is on the scoreboard and lead this football game 13-7 with 8:34 left to go in the first.
Kind of a post pattern, lofted in the air, nice touch on it, and Gallagher, that's almost the same exact play they did against Howell Bulldogs last week, and same result as well, a touchdown pass.
29 yards on the touchdown from Gallagher to Porter. And now they'll line up to kick the PAT. And it'll be Kern on the PAT. A line drive off the left upright, no good. He hit the left upright on a line drive. So they'll retain the 13-7 lead with 8:34 left to go in quarter number 1. We'll be right back right after this.
Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texacona Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh.
Exceeding your expectations.
Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco daily. Subway, eat fresh. A large dining area with free Wi-Fi. Newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years. Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company. VA all the way.
The kickoff is fumbled for a moment, picked up by Shellman, and he runs it back to the 42-yard line near midfield, and that's where Bonham will start. They're quickly running this football game, even through commercials.
Right. You know, and I wonder, going back to the extra point, pay attention to that. Let's see if that may come back to haunt the Panthers here later on in the game. You need all the points you can get in a high-scoring affair with both offenses that can score at will. Pay attention to that. See if that becomes a factor later in the game.
It was a two-play, 66-yard drive by the Van Alstyne Panthers to get on the board, 13-7, 8:25 left to go in quarter number 1. Stevenson to the right of Rodriguez. He wants to throw. Setting up the screen and is caught by Stevenson up the middle, and he crosses midfield to the 49. They'll spot it at the 48.
I like that. Put Stevenson, get him in open field, and let him maneuver his way through the holes here, and he gets good yards there, makes it 2nd down and 2, now into Panther territory.
So a little breather for a moment as both teams were going 90-0, and now we have a chance to stop and relax for a moment as Bonham comes up to the line of scrimmage with 2 men in the backfield. and now one of them leaves. Shellman back there with Stevenson, and Rodriguez is going to want to run around the right edge. Caught in traffic, but he escapes coming near side. Look out, 40 to the 35. Looking for a block downfield to the 10 and wrestled down at the 8-yard line, and I believe there's a flag.
That's going to be a horse collar on the end. He put Stevenson and Shellman in the backfield for him to let block on the left side for a quarterback keeper. There was nothing there. Reverse field looked like Johnny Manziel avoiding tacklers and go all the way down inside the 10-yard line and then cap it off with a horse collar to add on to that yard-long run.
Half the distance to the goal. We'll take it to the 3-yard line and set up shot for Bonham. It was Drellin Davis who made a great play to at least stop the touchdown, but he was the one guilty of the horse collar infraction.
Well, we talked about Rodriguez. He is the leading rusher on this team, and they've done some design runs for him, and he's been able to get positive yardage at each time he's had the ball.
Ball at the 3-yard line, and Rodriguez fakes the hand to Stevenson. He wants to run up the middle. He's in. Touchdown, Bonham. Again. With 7:11 left to go in quarter number 1, and holy moly, we've got 26 points on the board. Tie ball game, 13-13, awaiting a PAT.
Rodriguez got it. Looked like he was trying to throw it, trying to find somebody, and split 2 defenders, and was able to squeeze through a small hole between 2 defensive linemen and dive in for the end zone for a touchdown.
Oscar Gandera on for the PAT again. Reinhardt injured on the very first offensive play for Bonham. It's on the tee. The kick is up. It's high, and it is good. And Bonham takes a 14-13 lead with 7:11 left to go in quarter number 1. We'll be right back right after this.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Welcome back. 7:11 left to go in quarter number 1. 14-13, Bonham on top. And here's the kickoff. It's going to be a high kick, near side. Taken again by Austin Moore at the 22-yard line. Another seam, 33, 35. And backpedaling forward to the 39-yard line. They'll spot it at the 40. And Van Alstyne has 60 yards to go to the east end zone for points.
I tell you what, I feel like we've been going through about a quarter and a half, maybe 2 quarters of football. It's only 7 minutes to go, 7:05 left in the first quarter.
It is a track meet and a half. 7:05 on the clock. 14-13, Bonham on top. Moving right to left is Van Alstyne. Gallagher sends Jake Carroll to the slot formation. Still looking for the play call. Proctor also into the game in a slot. Cam Montgomery in a slot. Drellin Davis split out wide right. And Dylan Porter wide left. They get the play call. Gallagher goes in an empty set in the gun. He's going to run, and whistles fly. Whistles blow and flags fly before this one can get underway. Illegal procedure against Van Alstyne. Caroline Slauson, talk to us. What you got down there? She may not be able to hear us so loud.
I'm trying to locate her.
So here we'll do it again.
Oh, I see her there.
First down and 15. Van Alstyne backed up at the 35. They're going to hand off to Carroll again, straight up the middle. He'll gain the 5 back up to the 40.
Just a draw up the middle there by Jake Carroll. Carroll, who's not necessarily a speedster, but he's got some power behind it. Comes in with 962 yards rushing on the season, 14 touchdowns.
Second down and 10 coming up. In the pistol is Gallagher, and he'll turn, he'll hand. No, he's going to keep it himself. A great play fake, and he could go. He's got speed. Kiss him goodbye. 20, 15, 10. Nobody's going to catch him. stick that one in the end zone and put it on the scoreboard. Another shootout in Bonham, and it's 19-14, and you can bet they're going for two here.
He faked the handoff, and you got to honor Jake Carroll when he runs the ball, and Gallagher took it around the right side, and he was off the races. The kid runs track for Van Alstyne, runs on the sprint relay team, does long jump, triple jump, and I see why. We saw some of those burners he put on there when he got into open field.
Check your defense at the door. 60-yard touchdown for Gallagher gives Van Alstyne the lead, 19-14. We're not even halfway through the first quarter of this thing.
Wow.
In the gun, going for two. And the whistles again before this one, and we'll see what. Is it a timeout or is it a flag? Apparently it's a flag. It's going to be against Van Alstyne. They'll back it up 5. Another procedure call. 2 penalties in this game, or 3 penalties actually in this game, all of them against Van Alstyne.
We saw some procedure penalties they had last week there against Howe, and it hasn't slowed them down too much, really at all, as they put 19 points on the board so far.
Looking for 21, still going for 2 here in the pistol. As Gallagher wants it, and he looks to throw. Right side of the end zone, and it's going to be caught, I believe. It is. 2-point conversion. I'm trying to find out who had it down there, and that's Cuthbertson who brings it in. 6:29 on the clock, 21-14. VA in the lead. We'll be right back right after this.
To compete, some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Beckham's kickoff goes into the end zone. It bounces at the 10, and Shillman watches it roll into the end zone. Let's check down with Caroline Slauson. We've got a track meet tonight, Caroline.
Yeah, this game is what Friday nights are made of. This is what everyone wants. It's funny because actually Ricky Ake is here on the sideline with us, and we're just looking at each other like, oh, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one.
Yeah, it is quite the show of offensive powerhouse football. Not powerhouse, because when you say powerhouse, you think of I formation and all that. This is not that. This is spread them out, sling it around, and open some holes.
It's like 7-on-7 really right now.
1st and 10, left to right. Rodriguez sends Stevenson in motion to the right, and he wants to throw, setting up the screen to Shillman near side. A lot of space in the middle of the field. Look out, 40, 45 to the 50. Near midfield, crosses midfield to the 45, and Austin Moore of Van Alstyne finally slings him down in Van Alstyne territory at the 45-yard line.
Just a simple wide receiver screen, then Shillman had a lot of field open up ahead of him there, and he was able to break a couple of tackles at the end of his run down into the 45-yard line. Another big play for the Warriors.
30 yards on those simple screen. And pistol formation for Rodriguez. Stevenson right behind him. He might motion out, and he does. Stands to the left of Rodriguez. 1st and 10. Wanting to throw. 3-step drop. Looking across the middle now. Flushed out. And he's going to be shoestring tackled, but bounces out of that. He's got a first down right at the 34-yard line. Rodriguez is slippery now, and he was able to spin out of that tackle. It was a shoestring grabber, but his shoestrings were tied too tight.
Good coverage downfield by Van Alstyne, and Rodriguez had time to sit back there and read a book. I mean, he had a lot of time back there and was able to slip away. Again, he looks like Johnny Manziel back there, just able to avoid tacklers. Where's number 2 like Manziel? Just a really evasive, impressive quarterback.
Our apologies. We updated the scoreboard. It's 21-14 as the 2-point conversion was made by Cuthbertson on the catch. 1st and 10, Rodriguez, and he wants to throw again. Setting it up now, throws it out in the flats. It's going to be incomplete, in and out of the hands of wide receiver Tristan Singleton. Singleton only has a 1 catch for 5 yards on the year. That one went right through his hands. It was a little bit high, perhaps. He had to go up and catch it right above his helmet, but it slipped right through his hands, and 2nd down and 10 is coming up from the Van Alstyne 34.
Still a catchable ball there. Rodriguez is on the run. Singleton going across the middle and just threw a laser to him. Maybe a little too hard for Singleton.
2nd down and 10. Stevenson to the right of Rodriguez, who wants to run near side, looking for that right edge, and it's going to be closed quickly by Van Alstyne as Proctor was there, along with the linebacker Monsier. A few yards, perhaps, to the 31-yard line, so give him about 3, and pretty important 3rd down coming up for Bonham.
First few drives, you've been seeing the ball getting to Stevenson, let them do something with it, but they've made sure that Rodriguez has been touching the ball the last couple of plays.
3rd down and about 7 or 6. Rodriguez is going to run straight up the middle, stop straight up the middle, nothing doing there. And now it's 4th down and 7. No gain on the play to the 31-yard line.
Matthew Mitchell, number 62, clogged up that hole there along with Hunter Griffin and Cade Morgan on that defensive line there for the Panthers. That was a design run by Rodriguez, and good job there by the Panther defensive line to not allow Rodriguez to get going.
4th down and 7 perhaps coming up.
Now remember, on their last drive they went for it on 4th down and did not convert.
Going forward here at the Van Alstyne 31-yard line, left to right. Singleton to the right of Rodriguez. 4th down and 7. 3-step drop. Rodriguez looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He can run. He's got a lot of space to the 25, and it's going to be close, but I think he has the 1st down at the 22-yard line.
Good protection there by the offensive line. Good block there by Stevenson back there in the backfield there. He had a linebacker coming at him. He did a good job of pass blocking. Rodriguez saw nobody downfield, ran it, got the 1st down.
1st and 10. In the pistol, Rodriguez. Stevenson usually moves out, and he does, to the left side of Rodriguez. Twins to the left, screen pass out to the far side, and that one's going to be caught by Shellman. About a 4-yard gain and shoved out of bounds by Davis. Clock stops at 3:45. Folks, we're in the 1st quarter, 21-14.
Like I said, it feels like we've been playing for 2 quarters of football, but we've only been playing for about 9 game minutes. But a quick pass out there to Shellman. Shellman got about 4 yards. Good pursuit there by the Panthers to make that drive, that play minimal.
2nd down and about 7. Handoff Stevenson up the middle. Nothing doing there. Again, the Van Alstyne defense starting to be stingy a little bit on those runs up the middle.
Yeah, they're saying they're not going to let those Stevenson, who had a lot of runs there. Yeah, big holes were opening up. They're starting to close that up there on the interior run right now.
So now we've got another big 3rd down. 3rd and about 6 from the Van Alstyne 18-yard line. Stevenson to the right of Rodriguez in the gun. Rodriguez on the option pitch to Stevenson, coming near side, trying to escape the tackle of Rempel, but he can't do it. A nice play by Rempel to only allow Stevenson about 2 yards. So 4th down and 3 or 4 coming up for Bonham.
Good pursuit there by Rempel and the rest of the Panther defense there to stretch him out and not let him get around the corners, get around the edges. And so another 4th down. This will be their 3rd attempt this game. They're 1 for 2 so far.
In the pistol, 4th and 4, we'll call it. Rodriguez, Stevenson to the left of him. Shotgun formation. Rodriguez wants to throw left side. It's going to be caught by Jarrell Stewart at the 5, strolling into the end zone. Touchdown, Bonham. And with a PAT, they'll tie the game at 2:30 left to go in the 1st quarter.
Left side of the field of just a real quick slant, get it to Stewart, and then Stewart able to just kind of get past a couple of defenders there, break a couple of tackles. Really, nobody got really much of a hand on him at all. Uncontested as he walked into the end zone.
Gandera for the PAT to tie the game at 21. The kick looks good, and it is, and we're all knotted up. 21-21, 2:30 left to go in quarter number 1. We'll be right back right after this.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same: We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company. VA all the way.
42 points in less than 10 minutes in this football game. Gandera's kick is a high pooch kick, going to be taken by Austin Moore at the 25, coming near side, escapes a tackle to the 40, finally tripped up on the near sideline by Taft. If it wasn't for Taft, Moore would have gone a long way one more time. He's already scored one kickoff of 81 yards, and this time Van Alstyne will set up shop near the 42-yard line, and there's 2:26 on the clock. Gallagher in the pistol with Carroll just behind him. Now Carroll goes in motion to the right. Overloaded right side. Gallagher's going to run that way. Gets a great block from outside Proctor, and he could go again. Near side, cuts it, 15, 10. He's so fast. One play and a touchdown by Gallagher of 58 yards. He got a great block by Proctor on the right side of the offensive line, and he cut it back, and he was gone, Mama.
A quarterback design run. Gallagher has seen Rodriguez do it, and he says, I see that. I raise you another touchdown run. He does his own second touchdown, rushing touchdown of the night for Gallagher.
On for the PAT is Beckham, and it's blocked, and it's going to be caught and ran back but tackled immediately, so another miscue on a PAT. We thought it might be Bonham because Reinhardt's injury, but so far it's been Van Alstyne. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
48 points in less than 10 minutes. Here's the kickoff. It's going to be taken by an up man. Coming near side is Jarrell Stewart. He runs over one defender. The ball comes out. Van Alstyne says they have it. It was near the out-of-bounds marker. The official says it's Bonham's ball. No, they're going to say Van Alstyne.
Wow.
Have they made a decision? Coach Fish is really upset. But it's going to be Van Alstyne ball at the 48.
Wow, and
another miscue.
And that's what I thought it was. It went right near. It came out near out of bounds, and it kind of rolled about 2 or 3 yards, and Van Alstyne able to get on top of it before they went out of bounds.
Guys, me and Ricky are sitting right here and watched it happen. Ricky says they made the right call. I say they did not at all.
Tell me that again. Say that again.
Me and Ricky Ake are sitting right here. We saw the whole thing. We were right by it. Ricky thinks they did make the right call. I firmly believe he was out of bounds and it came out of his hands.
Well, here's Gallagher from his own 48, wanting to run basically the same play, but he wants to throw it down deep. All alone, Drillin Davis catches it at the 20, strolls in by himself. No one within an acre. Touchdown, Van Alstyne. They put it on the board again. Holy moly.
I don't blame Bonham. They've been burned by Gallagher twice. He was running around the right side, stopped, and then Davis, like you said, there was nobody within 20 yards of him at least. And just able to, all he had to do was be sure he caught it. and then run down the other way for a touchdown.
So Van Alstyne on their last 2 plays have scored, and it's 33-21. And we're waiting a 2-point conversion attempt again. And this time Gallagher is in the pistol formation. Man in motion is Davis again. That's Cuthbertson actually. And a low snap. Wants to throw the same 2-point conversion, and it was almost intercepted by Shellman. That wasn't Shellman, but it was almost picked off by cornerback Adrian Fuller, but that will end the drive. 33-21. We still have a minute 53 left in the first. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shellman on the kickoff return takes it from the 8-yard line on the far side and runs it up to the 21-yard line, and that's where Bonham will set up shop on their next possession. And we're running out of sheets. We normally don't have this many lines on our stat sheet in a half, and we got a $1:47 left to go in quarter number 1.
We may be here till midnight.
No wonder they're running the clock. From their own 21-yard line, Rodriguez in the pistol. First down and 10, left to right. Stevenson to his right now. And Rodriguez wants to run up the right side. Now up the middle. Spinning out of a tackle at the 31 and chased backwards and driven down hard backwards. They'll give him forward progress up to the 31-yard line, but it was Austin Moore who took Rodriguez to the woodshed at the end of that play. But it's going to be a 9-yard pickup for said quarterback. And second down, they're going to go ahead and give him the first. So right at 10 yards, and the clock's rolling at 1:24.
Monty, both of these teams, they were going to need an extra possession. They weren't going to be able to go back and forth. And that fumble, that turnover on the last kickoff there by Bonham may have been the extra possession they were looking for as they are up 33-21. Before that, it was just going back and forth.
I'd like to know how our statistician Blake Burnett's doing over there in the next room. First and 10, left to right. 2 men in the backfield, getting the handoff to Stevenson. No, Rodriguez keeps it. He's under pressure, but he quickly escapes the defensive end, Griffin, on his way for about 8 yards near the 40-yard line at the 39.
Faked the handoff and was almost going to try to throw it, decided to go ahead and run it. Austin Moore chased him down. Austin Moore, we've seen him in on a lot of tackles tonight.
So they'll give him 8, and we're going to be close to the end of the first quarter. They could, well, they do have to run one more play here. 54 points in quarter number 1.
Wow.
Second down at 2. Play clock at 7. They hand off to Stevenson, straight up the middle, fighting for first down yardage, and he has it right at the first down marker at the 41-yard line. They'll move the sticks. That will probably, well, no, they are going to move the sticks. The ball's at the 41. That will be the end of quarter number 1, and what a quarter it was. We'll be right back right after this.
At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them. Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Meet Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texarkana Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh. a large dining area with free Wi-Fi, newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years.
Welcome back. Our statistician, Blake Burnett, tells us Van Alstyne has run 6 plays of offense for their 33 points. Now, they also have a kickoff return by Austin Moore of 81 yards, but 6 plays.
All of us had to kind of look at each other and think, like, are you sure?
Bonham had a drive of 10 plays earlier on one of their scoring possessions. Speaking of Bonham, they have it. First down and 10, flipping sides here, going right to left for the first time tonight. We're in quarter number 2. Rodriguez wants to throw the deep ball to Stewart down the field, and it's going to be caught at the 18-yard line. Holy moly, what a catch by Jarrell Stewart over the head of Drellin Davis.
Drellin Davis had good coverage on him. He's right there in his jersey.
Quickly, Bonham up to the line. Handoff, Stevenson to the 15-yard line.
And this is where they wanted to go fast there. A big play downfield to Stewart, their biggest play of the night, passing-wise. And quickly up to the line there as they went and draw up the middle to Stevenson.
Well, you not only have to be good in this offense, you have to be in shape in this offense. They sprint down the field and run another play. Quarter number 2, we're at the 11:24 mark in this. If this were ESPN, it would be a classic for sure already. Pistol formation for Rodriguez. Stevenson right behind him, now moves to his left. Second down and about 6. Rodriguez, one to run, near side's got the 15. Tucks it up, inside the pylon. Touchdown, Tyler Rodriguez and the Bonham Warriors.
Another design run there by Rodriguez. Goes around the left side. Got a couple of receivers out there blocking. And Tyler Rodriguez is going to put this team on his back and refuses to lose, as defenses are just merely a suggestion here tonight.
Wow. And here is, again, Gandera for the PAT. The kick is right through the uprights and good. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company, VA all the way.
Gandera to boot this one away. Right to left. It's a high kick going to be taken at the 19-yard line. Going up the far hash, that's Austin Moore again, and he slips a couple of defenders on his way to somewhere around the 34, 38, 39-yard line perhaps. And that's where Van Alstyne will set up shop and try to run their 7th offensive play of the game.
I hope at one point they'll figure out they don't need to be kicking it to Austin Moore every time, because he's getting some pretty favorable returns each time. He's already had a touchdown return, but they've been kicking it to him every time.
Ball at the 39. Van Alstyne moving left to right for the first time tonight. Man in motion is Proctor from left to right. Pistol formation, they'll hand off to Carroll, coming near side to the right side. He escapes a couple of defenders on his way for a 9-yard run near midfield at the 48-yard line.
Carroll just goes around the right side, right around the right tackle there, and a good big healthy run, 9 yards up to nearly about the 48-yard line.
Second down and 1 coming up, 10:41 on the clock. We're in quarter number 2, just starting, 33-28 in an absolute classic. Pistol formation. As Proctor now goes in motion from right to the left side. And they fake the hand. Gallagher flushed out of the pocket, rolling out near side. It's got the 50 and slung down hard at the 45-yard line by the defensive end, Ryan Robertson.
Ryan Robertson, the leading tackler on this team with 80 tackles coming in, and he had good pursuit on them, ended up getting the first down, but he got some wheels on him. Only a sophomore there, Robertson.
Ball at the 46-yard line of Bonham. Clock rolling as he was tackled inbounds, and flags fly as I think Drellin Davis moved a little bit too early here on the near side, split out wide to the right. I think he got just maybe a half step too quick.
It's about the third legal procedure penalty on Van Alstyne tonight.
Caroline, what's it like down there?
Well, guys, not comparing this to games of this season, but it's just like you say, this is a classic game already. You don't get games like this, so it's really fun down here.
Here's a handoff straight up the middle to Carroll, and he'll get some of the yards back on the procedure call. He'll get it to about the 47-yard line, a yard shy of where the original line of scrimmage was. So it'll be second down and 11 coming up from the 47. On the bottom side of the field, on the pistol, and now another flag. And again, I think this is going to be against Van Alstyne, as you can hear this crowd in Bonham, Texas. They are stoked on the near side.
And you see Gallagher kind of upset, being very animated with his arms, kind of like, come on, guys, let's get it together. Trying to get their timing to go together.
Second down and 15 here, another legal procedure against Bonham, and maybe the crowd is playing a factor. You've seen crowds play factors in high school football games. It doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen, and maybe it happened right there. Second down and 15, left to right, Van Alstyne. And Gallagher gives it to Carroll again over left guard. He fights hard for yardage as he crosses the 45, and they'll spot it at the 45. So I believe it's third down and 9 coming up as we're at the 8:58 mark here, quarter number 2.
I think this is the first drive we have not seen much of Rhett Gallagher running the ball. It's been mostly a dosage of Jake Carroll on this drive.
So third down and 9. You can hear the Bonham crowd rise to their feet. It's Texas high school football at its best. Third down and 9. Gallagher, low snap, digs it out, throws it right over the middle, caught by Proctor, the 30. He's gone. Kiss him goodbye. 10-5, touchdown Van Alstyne. They duped him on the play action pass right over the middle.
Right down the seam. Proctor was there by himself. Nobody within about 10 yards, and he's able to just transcend the end zone for a touchdown, and then back and forth we go. 39-28 now, 8:27 to go here in the first half.
Those two players battled it out over the years for the quarterback position, and Gallagher hits Proctor on the 45-yard touchdown. Here's the PAT by Beckham. There's a flag down. It's good, but there is a flag. We'll check the flag. It's against Bonham. They'll decline that. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company, VA all the way. At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Who's winded? Raise your hand. Here's the kickoff. It's going to bounce at the 8, go near the end zone, and roll in the end zone where Shellman will down it. And now Bonham will start at their own 20-yard line, 25-yard line, with 8:27 on the clock here in quarter number 2. And there's been 68 points scored so far in this 14 minutes.
You said earlier in the week you may have seven touchdown calls.
11. I said 11.
Oh, did you say 11?
I think 11, but
you may have 11 for each team.
I may have 11 in the first. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, at this pace, and you got to. I think at some point this may slow down. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm out of breath almost. 40-28. Van Alstyne in the lead. Bonham trying to answer right back. Rodriguez, 3-step drop. Now flushed out, throws it near side. Jarrell Stewart makes the catch. He's got the 30, 35, and finally slung out of bounds by the cornerback or linebacker over there. That's Palacio, who had him around the waist. And I'm telling you, Jarrell Stewart, they have him at 5'10". He does not, to me, look like 5'10". He looks much bigger than that.
He looks more like 6 foot, maybe 6'1".
He's a big kid. 1st and 10 up to the 38-yard line. 13-yard gain for Jarrell Stewart. Twins to the near side. Rodriguez wants to run. Play action draw right up the middle, and he's fast. He's gone. 35-30. Kiss him goodbye. Rodriguez. Touchdown Bonham. Back to back to back to back scoring. Oh, my.
Wow. I mean, he got the snap. Looked like he was going to throw it for just a second, but it was a design run and just weaved his way through the defense. And again, put on the Jets there at about the 40-yard line and ran to the end zone for a touchdown. How many is that for Rodriguez? We have to count.
That was a 62-yard run by Rodriguez. And it'll be Gandera for the PAT. It's up. He's been good all night. And that one is good. So 40-35. Is that right? I can't keep up. That's right. We'll be right back right after this. Timeout.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is the result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Austin Moore returns the kickoff from the 12, still running past the 40 and drugged down at the 42-yard line. Austin Moore, I tell you what, he's been great so far tonight on these kickoff returns, and they keep kicking it right to him. At the 42-yard line is where Van Alstyne will start their next possession.
And I don't understand why they continue to kick to Austin Moore. He gets big returns each time, and like I said, he's already broken one for a touchdown. I hope at one point they'll learn they need to kick it to somebody else.
Quickly out on offense is Rhett Gallagher in the shotgun formation. 2 men in the backfield, and he's going to keep it around the right edge. Look, gets a great block, and look out. 45, 40. Breaks a tackle at the 33, and he is gone. Kiss him goodbye. It's like the NBA.
Wow, this is like fast break. Up and down, run and gun. Let's see what the flag is, though. There's a flag on the play. Holding against the Panthers.
Well, that's a big penalty right at the 40-yard line. They'll bring that one back, negate that touchdown. It only probably stymies the touchdown for only a few seconds.
I was about to say, it hurts him. It brings him back 5 yards. Just give it to Gallagher again and see what he can do.
Well, he got a great block from his right tackle, Jake Loganbill, and that sprung him. Once he got past Loganbill, who sealed the edge, he was shot out of a cannon and gone. They'll spot the ball at midfield.
Rodriguez has 3 rushing touchdowns on the night. Gallagher has 2.
First down. Here's Gallagher, who hands off to Carroll, running left side. He's got a lot of space. 40, 35. Cuts it up, left hash to the 20. Dragging a couple of defenders inside to the 18-yard line.
Got that handoff, broke it on the left side, have blockers ahead of him, a lot of real estate, and he's just a powerful runner when he gets that ball.
Van Alstyne quickly up to the line of scrimmage. 2 men in the backfield. Gallagher gives it right up the middle to Carroll, who takes 2 defenders to bring him down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, a gain of 4. 7:25 on quarter number 2 clock. Pistol formation. Carroll right behind Gallagher. A low snap. He goes down to pick it up, and he's in trouble and sacked in the backfield back to the 21-yard line. It's going to be the linebacker, Gage Craven, who brings him down.
Any way you can get it, negative yardage for Bonham. There have been a couple of low snaps there that I've noticed by Gallagher, but he's been able to dig him out of the dirt. And that one he couldn't get a hold of, and he couldn't dig it out of the dirt, and got dropped back about 5 or 7 yards.
7-yard loss, and now Van Alstyne on 3rd down and 13. Left to right, trying to reach the west end zone here at Warrior Stadium in Bonham, Texas. Pistol formation. Carroll behind Gallagher. Wants to throw left side. Throws it for Proctor, middle of the field. It's batted away, incomplete. He was actually trying to hit Dylan Porter. It was a great defensive job by Stevenson, who's back there.
Yeah, well, that was Hayden Stevenson, I believe, in coverage. Was that Stevenson for sure?
It might have been Fuller. Well, it was not. It was the cornerback. Boston.
Najee Boston. Boston's right there with Proctor. Good job by him. Got that rod paw up there and knocked it away from Proctor before it got to him there. Good job there. Good coverage by Boston.
Timeout's been called on the field. We'll take 1-2. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Boy, if you're missing this one, you're missing a classic. Right now, you need to call everybody, text everybody, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram. Do whatever you got to do. Tell them to tune it in right now, howenterprise.com. This one is a massive classic.
This is where the game is right here. Check your defenses at the door. I talk about defenses are merely a suggestion at this point right now. But somebody's going to have to get a defensive stop at some point here to be able to stay in this game.
4th down and a long way to go for Van Alstyne. Gallagher and pistol as Carroll's right behind him. And now I think
Bonham called a timeout?
I think Bonham called a timeout. They were not happy about something. We'll take a timeout, too. We'll be right back right after this.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors.
Welcome back as the Panthers are on the field. Bonham saw something they didn't like. They called a timeout. It's 4th down and a long way to go. About 13 for Van Alstyne. In the pistol formation, Gallagher wants to throw over the middle, flushed out of the pocket, running near side 30. Throws it deep in the end zone, looking for Porter, and it is knocked away or intercepted. Porter is upset. But I think that ball was knocked away.
I think it was. I think
they'll call it incomplete in the end zone. Porter thought he was going to make the grab for a touchdown, but a great defensive play near side in the end zone.
I think that was Greg Taft. He was rolling to his right, and Greg Taft knocked it away.
Let's check down with Caroline Slauson.
Yeah, guys, no, they made the right call on that one. It was a great defensive play. The ball hit the ground. Number 7, I believe, on Van Alstyne picked it up while he was down. And no, it was incomplete.
So now Bonham will take over on a turnover on downs. And Van Alstyne turned away for the first time tonight. Right to left, 1st and 10. Pistol formation for Rodriguez. Now he moves Stevenson to his left. From the 19, he wants to throw deep down the field, looking for Stewart. Near midfield, goes up for it, makes the catch at the 38-yard line. Another home run ball from Rodriguez to Jarrell Stewart. My, oh my.
Stewart's their big play receiver. Number 3, Cam Montgomery, was in good coverage there. but unable to take it down or knock it away.
Rodriguez wants to run it on 1st and 10, scrambling. Now throws the screen. It's incomplete, trying to hit Shellman on the far side. It's 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Rodriguez trying to escape pressure there and hit it over to Shellman, though. Is a little bit off target there.
What a track meet this is.
Wow.
I'm out of breath and I've done nothing. 6:01 on the clock. 40-35. Van Alstyne in the lead. Bonham knocking on the door. Either team can score on any play. From the 38-yard line of Van Alstyne, Rodriguez runs a quarterback draw straight up the middle, and he's going to be gang tackled at the 36-yard line. A couple of yards as the defense stiffened up a little bit there.
Try to get an interior run there, and that defensive line there, 62, Matthew Mitchell, was able to gobble him up for a minimal gain.
And everybody exhales.
Right?
Spotted at the 36, 5:34 on the clock. Right to left going Bonham towards the east end zone here at Warrior Stadium. Rodriguez in the gun. Moves Stevenson to his right. And he's going to fake the hand, setting up the screen near side. Shellman trying to find the far corner 40, and it's going to be wrestled down. A great play by Rimpel to capture Shellman behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a yard loss back to the 39 on the screen pass.
Shellman got the screen. He was trying to go upfield up on right along parallel with the 40-yard line. Couldn't get around the corner, and good job there by Rimpel to bring him down with no gain on the play.
We're not going to see a punt tonight, are we?
No, not right now, I don't think.
4th down and 9 from the Van Alstyne 39-yard, 4th and 11 rather, sorry, from the Van Alstyne 39. They're going for it, I believe. Now Rodriguez gets it. He's looking to throw. Left side, flushed out. Now he's going to be brought down for a big loss on the Van Alstyne side of the field. Or on the Bonham side, rather, and that was a huge play by Hunter Griffin to sack Rodriguez way back for a huge loss, and Van Alstyne's in great shape on the bottom side of the field as they turn it over on downs.
Rodriguez kept going back, and he was trying to spin out of one, use that athleticism, and good job there by Griffin. Stay in his lane, didn't give way, and was able to corral him there and bring him back for a big loss all the way back into Warrior territory.
4:29 on the clock. Handoff Carroll on 1st down. He's trapped behind the line of scrimmage, but breaks out of a couple of tackles, and he'll surge forward for maybe 3 to the 44-yard line.
And
what? Okay. Okay. 2nd down and 7, and this is going to be Gallagher. Handoff to Carroll once again, straight up the middle to the 38-yard line. Can you check it?
Carroll got that draw middle and went straight up the hash marks there, right behind the center, and able to get a pretty decent 4 or 5 yard gain there on that one.
They'll spot it at the 39-yard line. Van Alstyne's 3rd and about 2 yards. 3:36 on the clock here in quarter number 3.
It appears both teams has kind of started to slow down the pace just a little bit.
Well, they're going to be completely wiped out if they continue this pace, both teams. And you're going back to August cramps type of stuff if they continue this pace. 3rd down and 2. Flags down at the 30-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be a legal procedure against the Panthers.
All right, so they'll back this one up to the 44.
And I think it needs to be mentioned, Monty, that we've had 2 defensive stands in a row, one by Bonham and one by Van Alstyne here.
3rd down, what was that, 7, Justin? You can hear the Bonham crowd.
7, yeah.
Big play here. As that's Gallagher rather in the gun. They're both alike. Gallagher setting up the screen. Caught near side Montgomery. He's got some room. That's Porter rather. And he has a 1st down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. A big play on 3rd down.
Gallagher had to hurry up and get rid of that on that screen play. He had big Chris Wilson, all 6'6", 350 pounds bearing down on him. He had to get rid of that ball to Porter, and Porter able to weave his way through holes there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
So 1st and 10, left to right. .2:30 on the clock. And here's a handoff to Jake Carroll straight up the middle. Maybe about 5 yards inside the 20 to the 19, perhaps 4.5 yards.
And probably what Van Alstyne, I would think maybe would try to do is maybe try to hold on to this ball and maybe score and not give Bonham a chance to have it here at the end of the first half, as there's under 2 minutes to go.
1:58 on the clock. 2nd down and 5. Handoff Carroll left side. No, a counter and caught behind the line. And maybe they should have handed it to Carroll as Gallagher kept it, and he was brought down for a loss back to the 21.
Ron Robertson in on that. He was, I don't know if he was spying or he was keeping an eye on Gallagher, and he didn't let him get away. Brought him back for a loss.
So here we go, another big 3rd down play, 3rd and 7, just like a moment ago. Cuthbertson into the game. He'll be the slot back on the near side. Proctor will be a fullback on the near side. Gallagher in the gun. Cuthbertson in motion from right to left. Gallagher gets it, wants to throw, looking over the middle, throwing deep down in the left side of the end zone, going up for it, swatted away. A nice play again by the cornerback Boston.
Boston, his 2nd time to break up a pass there. Good job, good coverage downfield. He had the coverage on Proctor earlier, and good coverage there on number 7 there, Porter.
7th play of the drive is going to be 4th and 7, and I think is a timeout been called? It has. We'll take 1-2. We'll be right back right after this.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Well, the officials gave us a full 60. I think it was the first time tonight. 1:07 left to go before the half, and the Panthers are about to attempt a 37-yard field goal. Beckham and Gallagher to hold. Beckham's kick is a long one. It looks good enough, and it is. Splits the uprights, and Van Alstyne extends their lead 43-35 right before the half. We'll be right back right after this.
Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texacona Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh. A large dining area with free Wi-Fi. Newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years.
Welcome back. It was a 7-play drive by Van Alstyne. It was 47 yards, and they now extend their lead 43-35 here at Bonham Warrior Stadium. There's a $1:03 left to go in quarter number 2. Holy moly, we've been going at what time is it? I didn't get enough sleep last night. 8:43.
I was about to say, you may pull an all-nighter doing highlights.
Man alive, this is going to be quite the lengthy highlight show tomorrow at howenterprise.com. Here's Beckham's kick. It's going to be taken at the 10-yard line by Stewart, and he'll bang his way to the 27. That's just where they kicked the field goal a moment ago. And Stewart's down. Will set up Bonham 1st and 10 right to left.
57 seconds to go, and 2 timeouts for Tyler Rodriguez. That's a lifetime for him.
They'll officially start at their own 29, and you're right. They could score, my goodness, they could score 3 times. Rodriguez in the gun, Stevenson to his left, 2 receivers right. Rodriguez throws near side. Jarrell Stewart makes a great catch at the 39-yard line, and he is quite the receiver, I'm telling you. 48 seconds on the clock. They move it. It's still rolling. No, they pick up a first down, apparently. Here's a screen pass out to Shellman. A flag is down. Shellman's brought down behind the line of scrimmage and out of bounds, but the flag came in just as the play started. It's going to be a hold against Bonham. Is that their first penalty of the night?
I'm about to say, I think that is their first penalty of the night. And really at a time they really don't need it. They need the yards right now. With 40 seconds to go, and
so they made their way up to the 39 with the Stewart catch, and now they go back to the 29. 40 seconds on the clock before the half. 43-35 Van Alstyne. Pistol formation, and now Stevenson moves to the left to Rodriguez. 3-step drop, looking to throw deep down the field. Right in the middle of the field, and it's intercepted at the 48, coming near side, Austin Moore. 35, 30, 25, and finally slips down at the 22-yard line. A huge interception by Austin Moore.
Austin Moore dropped back and covered, kind of read the eyes of Rodriguez as he tried to throw it across the middle, and Moore with the interception down into Warrior territory. So 28 seconds to go. They got 1 timeout in their back pocket. They've got a chance to score here and make it a 2-possession ball game.
Boy, that was the absolute worst thing that Bonham could have happen to him right there. Is an interception near midfield and run all the way back deep in Bonham territory. At the 24 is where they'll start. Gallagher in the pistol. And he will fake the hand, throwing it right across the middle, and that one's intercepted at the 8-yard line. Coming up the right hash, and he fumbles the football, but jumps right back on it.
Oh, my gosh.
It was the linebacker, Greg Taft, who picked it out of the air at the 8-yard line. As he was going down, he fumbled it, but he was able to jump back on it. Crazy.
Greg Taft, who was in his linebacker position, dropped back and able to get it across the middle, and therefore is intended for Proctor. And yeah, he almost fumbled that after the interception.
So 18 seconds on the clock, and our spotter, Stephen Braswell, says that's nothing. Bonham's got plenty of time to score.
And 2 timeouts.
So here we go. Holy moly.
So who knew? Van Alstyne makes interception. Now Bonham. Defenses are showing up.
Ball at the 17-yard line, deep in Bonham territory. Shotgun, handoff. Stevenson straight up the middle, 20-yard line, drugged down from behind by the defensive lineman, Matthew Mitchell. And there's 9 seconds and 8 seconds, and that one might be the end of the first half. What a track meet it was. And you're about to hear a big roar of the crowd here at Bonham Warrior Stadium as their Warriors may trail by 8 points, but it has been a foot race.
A fun game. We knew it was going to be like this, but it's almost like, did we expect this much? And I don't know if we did.
78 points in a half. That is unbelievable and outstanding. If you like to be entertained in football, well, you got it tonight.
Yeah.
Holy moly. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back and we'll have a halftime show, and we'll probably talk with maybe Randy Pendergrass, who's seen this Bonham Warrior team all year long. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company. VA all the way.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
The following is a presentation of Grayson Publishing.
It's Texas high school football, and it's the district championship game in Class 3A, Division I, District 5.
Gallagher looks in the end zone, deep ball, and it's going to be caught easily about 8 yards deep by Dylan Porter for the score.
Oh, we just did.
All right, yeah.
Oh, man. I'm too excited. Yeah, we didn't have, okay, that's right. Well, we didn't have the halftime intro, so that's what I thought. Oh, we're not crazy. Anyways.
We're looking for the halftime intro. That's what we were looking for.
There was no such thing, so we're not crazy. Caroline Slauson, Justin White here at Warrior Stadium in Bonham, Texas. 43-35 at the half for the district championship.
Van Alstyne leads. Let's say we got to say
Van Alstyne leads. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you.
I mean, this game, like I said, we knew it was going to be a high scoring. In fact, the scores we predicted, all of us, our crew predicted, are what it is at halftime. We all predicted like around 40-something to 30-something, and that's what the score is right now, 43-35. So
Monty's was 42-35.
So
that's that.
So he would win if not another point is scored, but I doubt that'll happen.
Yeah, I'm out for sure.
And so it
doesn't matter. It's incredible. I mean, not comparing, to our games this season we've covered, but I mean, this is just like what football is made of. You know what I mean? Like this is just a great game. Every possession, someone's scoring.
They started slowing down there at the end of the last 5 minutes or so. They started kind of slowing the pace down, and I feel like they had to just for endurance.
Yeah, I mean, we're
reasons.
tired down there. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, and two, one of the things the keys to the game for both teams was they were going to need to get some defensive stops to get some extra possessions in there because they weren't. I mean, at some point somebody's got to stop somebody, and so if you can get an extra possession there by getting a turnover, that can help your chances here. Van Alstyne has only turned the ball over once on that interception at the end of the half, and then Bonham has turned it over twice. They threw an interception, Rodriguez did, and then they had the fumble down here near the bottom sideline that you thought was not a fumble.
I'm not an official, so it's okay.
You thought it was not a fumble, right?
No, he was out of bounds.
Really? Okay.
But it's gonna be a defensive play, just one. I really think it'll be one defensive play, or a turnover, and that's what's gonna decide this game.
And right now it's both quarterbacks are the stars of this team, and we knew both of them were, and they're so fast. They're not big kids. They're Gallagher, I think, said.
I don't have much heart. Yeah.
Let's see, Gallagher is at 5'9", 170. Rodriguez is at 5'8", 155. And so they're not really big kids, but they can just fly. And they're both track team participants, and you can see why.
Track. Yeah, they both run the same races in track. And we were saying down on the sideline that we may need to come here and cover a track meet because this will be. I mean, they are so good. These quarterbacks are. They really are.
The Van Alstyne band's out there right now performing.
It's a little difficult being from Howe and really enjoying a Bonham Van Alstyne game, but it's very good. What do you think? And there's really not many mistakes by each team. They're not really.
No, I mean there's a couple of turnovers. Van Alstyne's got some penalties they need to clean up. They've had a couple of legal procedure penalties. Now it's not really cost them too much because they've been able to make it up with a touchdown. But that could late in the game, that could really be disadvantageous for you. Put yourself in third and long situations, things like that. But that's going to be something they need to clean up or their penalties. I think Bonham only had one penalty that first half. So
is that right?
One penalty and two turnovers. So those are the only blemishes on this team. Coach Fish talked about the winner of this game is a team that can make the least mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And so right now, I think Van Alstyne has made the least mistakes, maybe. Like I said, they've had the penalties. It's close. It's really close.
It really is.
And therefore, the score is close right now, 43 to 35 at the half.
Our statistician, Blake Burnett, is firing out stats.
His pen's been smoking tonight.
Yes, he's got 3 pages ripped off. Here comes another one.
I'll let Monty do all that later
on.
on.
Wait on Monty. Let him do that. We'll be back though, and with some scores around the district last week of the season. So things will be interesting. We'll be back to Warrior Stadium right for this.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company, VA all the way.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com.
You're invited to the one and only Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Bucksnort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Back here at Warrior Stadium in Bonham, Texas, 43-35, Van Alstyne on top of Bonham, but you know, who knows what will happen. Some scores around district last week of the, I keep thinking we're in playoffs since, you know.
This is like a playoff game almost.
It really is, but last week of the regular season, scores from our district, Lone Oak Buffaloes playing in Pottsboro tonight. It is halftime in that game, 46-14 Pottsboro on top of Lone Oak. The other score here in District, Commerce Tigers playing Rains Wildcats, 14-14 all at halftime in that game. And, of course, Van Alstyne and Bonham playing tonight, 43-35 half, VA on top of Bonham.
All right, so turn the crowd mic down because piped in music there. Let's see, you got some scores just from around the Metroplex here. McKinney Boyd in a big game in third quarter, 13-10. McKinney High up in on Boyd. Centennial and Independence out of Frisco, 20-14. Independence leads that one. Frisco over Lovejoy, 41-16. Aubrey leads Bridgeport, 14-0. Aubrey was a team that Van Alstyne played earlier in the season. Number 2 in the state, Argyle up on Salina, 63-14. 29-13. Prosper up on Plano. 28-20. Anna leads Sanger. 42-28, Melissa up on North Lamar. Frisco Reedy leads Princeton 21-3. The Van Alstyne game here that we got up against Bonham, 43-35. Ennis leads Greenville 21-7. Caddo Mills leads Lincoln High out of Dallas 7-0. Rockwall Heath 14, North Mesquite nothing. Gunner up big on Callisburg 27-0. That's in the third quarter. 26-12 at the half. White over Prairie Land. Wolf City leads Como Picton 20-0. Bells and Cooper tied at 20. We talk about Pottsboro and Lone Oak. That's 46-14 at the half. Holiday leads S&S 28-0. 14-6. Blue Ridge leads Chisholm. Collinsville up big on Trenton. That's in the third quarter, 38-0. And Cumbie leading Era 32-15. And trying to see some others. Poteet defeated McKinney North 53-39. That was last night. And Allen big on Plano West 63-7. That was a game last night as well.
Man, the only other scores I have are Denison.
Oh yeah, Sherman did.
Yeah, Denison playing on the road in Braswell tonight. Oh, I thought that said the first quarter. I was like, do what? No, third quarter, a minute 37 left, so they're almost done. 31-7. Denison on top of Braswell. Winning on the road, Sherman at John Tyler tonight. 45-13. 11 minutes, 49 seconds left in the game. John Tyler on top of Sherman in that game.
All right, we're going to take another break here.
Sure.
All right, we come back here. We'll have Monty do a little bit. 43-35 is our score. Van Alstyne leads Bonham.
You're invited to the one and only Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Bucksnort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texacona Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh. A large dining area with free Wi-Fi. Newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years.
Welcome back. We are at the half. The Bonham Purple Warrior Band is playing. We got some halftime stats to give you. I'm out of breath because I ran all the way down there. There was a line. Don't ask. And there's like 78 points on the scoreboard. If that's not enough to to make you out of breath, I don't know what is, because that is a lot of points. All right, stats. Van Alstyne's leading 43-35, so we'll go over Van Alstyne's stats first. Caroline, you looking for your headphones? They're down there. They were down there somewhere. I saw them down there somewhere.
Okay.
Anyway, I know I saw him. I'm sorry, everybody. We're looking for Caroline's headsets. Which were in her pocket the whole time. Really?
No, I can hear you online, and it's a big delay, and I'm like, is he not hearing two things going on air at the same time? And I'm
you know what?
That's what it is.
It's
okay,
my pocket.
I was like, there are two things. He is talking on it. There we go.
Okay, all right. Sorry, everybody. We're back.
We're good.
Okay, where were we? Stats, right? Van Alstyne. That's what you were wanting until we got in the way. So, Jake Carroll, we have at 10 carries, 106 yards on the ground. Rhett Gallagher, the quarterback, 5 carries, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Passing, Rhett Gallagher, 4 of 8, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. We're talking about a half of football. Receiving, Drillon Davis, 1 catch, 50 yards. Dylan Porter, 2 catches, 51 yards. And let's see, Gage Proctor, 1 catch, 46 yards. We have a touchdown by Proctor. We have a touchdown by Davis. And we have a touchdown by... So all 3 Wait a minute. All 3 okay. 4... He's completed 4 passes, and 3 of them were touchdowns for Rhett Gallagher. Okay, well, let's move on over to Bonham. Let's see what they've got. Rushing, it appears to be Rodriguez has 14 carries for 165 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. Stevenson has 9 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. And Rodriguez passing in the first half, 10 out of 15 for 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jarrell Stewart, the Bonham's leading receiver, 5 catches, 123 yards. Shellman has 3 catches for 29 yards. Reinhardt, who had 1 catch for 34 yards and got injured on the play and will not return. Matter of fact, he's on crutches. And then Stevenson caught a pass for 7 yards. So again, Rodriguez, 193 yards passing and 165 yards rushing in the first half. His counterpart, Rhett Gallagher, 118 yards rushing, 147 yards passing in the first half. You've got to be kidding me. Those are some outlandish stats for one half of football. We're going to take a quick timeout. I'm not sure. Is the Van Alstyne band about to play? It looks like they might be. We won't let you miss that. We'll be back right after this timeout.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Okay, anybody out of breath? Because I still am a little bit. Let's see. Let's recap this sucker. It might take a while to do that. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game. The Van Alstyne Panthers kicked off to start the game. They recovered an onside kick, but were offsides. Did it again, so Bonham took the ball at their own 8-yard line and went 5 plays, 92 yards for the score. It was a 37-yard touchdown by Stevenson to start the game, and Bonham led 7-0. Now, Bonham lost their kicker and slot receiver Reinhardt on the very first play of the game, so doing the kicking chores all night tonight has been Oscar Gandera, and he's been perfect. What a weapon to have a backup kicker as good as that. So Bonham led 7-0 at 10:14 left to go in the first quarter. Van Alstyne took the ball, and on the kickoff, Austin Moore ran it back 81 yards for the score to tie it up with 10:02 left to go in the first quarter. Bonham got it right back, and they stretched the field. Let me see. I didn't add this one up because it was going so fast. So that one was 5 plays and 54 yards on the drive, and it was a turnover on downs, actually. Tried to throw it to Stevenson, and Bonham was stopped. Van Alstyne got the ball at their own 34-yard line and went 2 plays, 66 yards. It was a 29-yard touchdown from Gallagher to Porter, and Van Alstyne took the lead 13-7, missed the PAT, 8:34 left to go in the first quarter. Next possession, Bonham, 3 plays, 56 yards and the score, and I didn't write that one down because it was going too fast. I want to say it was a 3-yard touchdown. 3-yard touchdown by Bonham in the first quarter. I'm trying to remember. Was that Rodriguez? It was Rodriguez on the score, so let me write that down so I don't mess it up at the end of the game. Okay, so we move along. So at that point, it's 14-13. Bonham in the lead with 7:11 left to go in the first quarter. Van Alstyne gets it right back and quickly goes 2 plays, 65 yards on a 60-yard touchdown pass from Gallagher. A touchdown run, however, by Gallagher, and a 2-point conversion pass to Cuthbertson, and that gets Van Alstyne in the lead 21-14 with 6:29 left to go in quarter number 1. Bonham gets it back, and they march down the field, 10 plays, 75 yards, and a 16-yard touchdown strike from Rodriguez to Stewart, and we're tied at 21 with 2:30 left to go in quarter number 1.
Van Alstyne's next possession, one play, 58 yards. Guess who? Gallagher, 27-21. Van Alstyne in the lead with 2:13 left to go in the first quarter. Let's see. The Bonham Warriors take the kickoff and fumble it. Stewart fumbled it out of bounds. There was some discussion whether it was out of bounds or whether it was recovered in bounds. Caroline says one thing, Ricky Yake says the other. They were both there, but the officials said Van Alstyne ball. And guess what? 52 yards on one play, and guess who it was? Gallagher, this time to Davis. And Van Alstyne stretched their lead 33-21 at the 153 mark in quarter number one. So Bonham gets the ball back with 1:53 left to go at their own 21-yard line. Drive down the field, 6 plays, 79 yards, and a 15-yard touchdown by Rodriguez. Narrows the gap 33-28 with 11:05 left to go in the quarter number two. Van Alstyne takes it right back, 45-yard touchdown from Gallagher to Proctor on a third down pass right over the middle, a beautiful play-action pass. And Van Alstyne, 5 plays, 61 yards on the drive. They extend the lead 40-28 with 8:27 left to go before the half. Bonham takes it at their own 25-yard line, and they go 62 yards for the touchdown. Again, I'm going to have to write this down because it was going so fast, I forgot to write it down. A 62-yard touchdown by Bonham, and that capped off a 2-play, 75-yard drive. I think that was Rodriguez again on that long run. When in doubt, right, Rodriguez is named down. 40-35, Van Alstyne in the lead with 8:08 left to go in the second. Van Alstyne gets the ball, and they, for one of the very few times tonight, turned it over on downs all the way down to the 21-yard line. Gave it back to Bonham, who started at their 19. And a great play by the defensive end, Hunter Griffin, forced a turnover on downs, and Van Alstyne took it back with 4:29 left to go right before the half. And they ended their drive at the 21-yard line on a 37-yard field goal by Beckham to extend the lead 43-35 with a $1:03 left to go in the first half. And Bonham's next possession ended in an interception by Austin Moore. Van Alstyne's next possession ended on an interception by Greg Taft. And then the half finally ended. And everyone was out of breath. And everyone who's here will always say they were here. Now, there's not a lot of people. Now, I said there was a pretty good crowd from Van Alstyne. It's not a great crowd over there. It's a pretty good crowd here at Bonham. But I'm going to tell you, by the end of this night, when it's all said and done, there's going to be like 33,000 people who are going to say that they were here tonight and witnessed this, and they're anywhere near this place.
And they probably have different accounts, too, of what happened. So, yeah, Van Alstyne, yeah, they didn't bring a great crowd, but, yeah, we're spread out all over there.
The Panthers are coming back out on the field for the second half. You can hear that crowd across the way. Long way over there. Again, this is a full-size track, so it is a lot further across the field. And here come the Bonham Warriors. Well, if we have the same kind of second half that we had for the first half, we're looking at 86-70 as a final.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm saying your prediction is correct if you were just playing a half of football.
I said 42-35 Van Alstyne, but I didn't think we were talking about the first half.
Yeah. We all take different scores now that's in the second half.
Wow. Our stats, we'll go over those real quickly. Again, if you're just joining us, we're about to be ready for the third quarter kickoff. Not 13, third. And Gallagher, 118 yards rushing, 147 through the air. His counterpart, Rodriguez, 165 yards on the ground, 193 through the air. Those are unbelievable numbers for outstanding Class 3A quarterbacks in outstanding programs with outstanding head coaches and offensive coordinators. We're looking at offensive coordinator Tucker Carter versus J.C. Guerrero on the Bonham side. You're looking at
offensive coordinator Garrett Patterson against Brad Clark on the Van Alstyne side. And here's the kickoff, and it's going to be Gandera going to kick it again to Austin Moore at the 20-yard line, dancing a bit, moving across the 30 and stopped at the 32-yard line, and the Bonham crowd is happy about that as Van Alstyne starts at their own 33.
Probably the best coverage we've seen downfield by the special teams for Bonham there against Moore.
I'm going to run out of room on my sheet. Man alive. I hope they slow down a little bit. Stephen Braswell whispers in my ear they will surely slow down here. Gallagher in the gun. I feel like we played a whole game. Rimpel goes in motion from right to left, and they hand off to Carroll, running left tackle, stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Is a great job up front for the Warriors.
Good job there. They're not going to let that interior run. Let them get that draw at the middle going. Good job there by the defensive line, led by Chris Wilson in the middle of that line. Big 6'6", 350-pound Wilson anchoring that defensive line there.
Craven also in on the stop. 2nd down and 10 coming up. 11:26 as we're just underway in quarter number 3. Nobody scored yet. Gallagher, he hands to the near side back. That's Carroll. A lot of room. 1st down, 50. Looks for a block, 40. It's a foot race, 30. 20. Looking to escape a defender inside the 15 and brought down at the 13-yard line. A great run by Carroll on the second play from scrimmage in the second half.
Well, it's mostly Gallagher in the first half, but Jake Carroll is showing that he can run. He's almost a 1,000-yard rusher. In fact, he probably went over 1,000 yards with that run tonight.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Carroll gets the carry again. You would think he'd be winded after that long run. He gets the quick carry and a gain of about 3. Almost to the 10-yard line at the 11.
And that's what the Panthers like to do. So do the Warriors. When they get a big play like that, they like to rush up to the line and go fast.
2nd down and 8 coming up. The Panthers can get a 1st down at the 4-yard line. Right now they're at about the 11. Man in motion, and Gallagher's going to keep it straight up the middle. He's got the 1st down and more. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Van Alstyne. Gallagher scampers for 11 yards and puts more points on the board and a PAT away from 50.
Gallagher, a quarterback keeper at the middle, broke it to the outside and scores his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night.
So Beckham will come on to do the kicking duties. Let me write this down. 11-yard touchdown by Gallagher. He is an unbelievable high school quarterback, and he holds here for Beckham's kick, which is high and true. So Van Alstyne hangs half 100 here at Bonham. 50-35 in quarter number 3. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texacona Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh. A large dining area with free Wi-Fi. Newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years.
Well, you said they'd slow it down. They went with Jake Carroll. Only 3 plays on the drive, 67 yards, capped off by a 11-yard touchdown, by Rhett Gallagher. And the Panthers ready to fake the quail onside now, and they move back in regular kicking formation. And Beckham has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Shellman deep and Stewart deep. It's going to go to Shellman at the 10-yard line, coming up the near hash. Finds a seam, escapes one defender, pushing forward past the 40 to the 41-yard line. And Bonham moving right to left here in the 3rd quarter are 59 yards away from Pater, which in this game, it's only a matter of time before that happens.
I dare to say that you're down by 15. This is the biggest deficit the Warriors have faced tonight. This may be the most important possession of the game for the Warriors right now, because they've shown they have trouble stopping Van Alstyne, so they're going to need to get a touchdown to stay in this ball game.
Rodriguez goes in the gun.
Two receivers out right, one to the near side is Stewart. Stevenson stands to the left. Rodriguez wants to run near side, 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. 3 yards shy of midfield and about 4 yards shy of a first down. Second down and 3 or 4 coming up, 10-13 on the clock.
Warriors go back to the well again to use Rodriguez, their biggest threat. He had 165 yards rushing in the first half, and not quite as long a run as he usually is, as Van Alstyne kind of keeps him the damage minimal to 8 yards.
Second down and 3 coming up. A slot receiver to the left side. Stevenson now to the left of Rodriguez, and they're going to fake it to him, throwing it over the middle. It's caught by the receiver, Bowser, and he makes his way inside the 20, and they'll mark him at the 19-yard line.
Right up the seam there, right across the middle. They're able to find Bowser just kind of there by himself, a hole in the defense, and able to get down. He kind of tripped over his feet, otherwise he'd have probably been down farther. He's only inside the 20. He's probably been down inside the 10, maybe even a touchdown there if he wouldn't have tripped.
31 yards on the pass and catch, 9:53 on the clock. Rodriguez wants it, gets it, and he hands off to Stevenson up the middle, who chews up about 3 or 4 to the 16-yard line.
Just a draw off the middle here. Again, they try to keep it as balanced as they can. They came in averaging and passing about 248 yards running and passing each.
Second down and 7 perhaps, as Bonham takes their time here. And they come to the line of scrimmage, which is the 16-yard line. Rodriguez turns around, says something to Stevenson. Stevenson now moves to the left of him. And Rodriguez with a flag down, throwing in the end zone for Stewart. 8 yards deep in the end zone, touchdown Bonham. But check the flag, which stands at the 11-yard line. No indication yet that it's apparently it's against Van Alstyne, which obviously will be the flag. Whoa, that's a loud horn. So Bonham narrows the gap and tries to keep pace, 50-41, with Gandera trying to kick the PAT, and it is good. He stays perfect, 50-42. And we'll be back right after this timeout.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Gandera's kick is going to be a high one, taken by none other than Austin Moore at the 18-yard line, right up the middle of the field. Looking for a seam, kiss him goodbye. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, kiss him goodbye. 80 yards again.
I said it before and I'll say it again. They kept kicking to him, and he had a touchdown earlier. He's been having good returns, and for some reason they continue to kick to him, and they got burned on that time.
Austin Moore delivers again, and it's 56. Awaiting the PAT. Gallagher to hold. Beckham to kick it. T placed at the 10 as always on a PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. 57-42. 8:57 left to go in the third. We'll be back right after this timeout.
At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance.
Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Hey, Caroline, I know you're down there. How about she's talking to Ricky.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, what? How much of a track meet is it down there? Is it any different than up here?
I've just given up, and I'm just I'm just staying in one spot by Ricky. No, I will say though that the excitement, it being a 2-possession game, the excitement is still up here, even on the bottom side. What has gone down though is the temperature, for sure.
You're a little chilly down there.
Little chilly. Oh, and I don't know if you guys have noticed how, for you Huff fans that are listening, we've seen this officiating crew before. This is the same crew that they threw the flag on Roger Tidwell.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Well, Roger, if you're listening, don't say anything too loudly because it's the same crew. Matter of fact, the crew just threw a flag right there on the kickoff, and it's the Commerce chapter. Blake Womack is the referee. Jason Evans is the umpire. Garrett Gray is the head linesman. Dwayne Womack is the line judge. And the back judge is Michael Welch. A delay of game was called on Van Alstyne on the kick, and now Beckham will boom this one away. It's a high, deep kick, going to be taken by Shellman at the 16-yard line. Coming near side, makes a move, makes a man miss at the 33, and then slung backwards by about 5 Panthers, including Cam Montgomery. And Bonham will take over at their own 32, moving right to left.
Well, let's see if Bonham go back to the drawing board. I guess another heavy dose of Rodriguez and Stevenson. We've seen Stewart a couple times on some long plays, some big plays here.
You know, what we haven't seen a lot of, which I really thought we would, is Shellman. Yeah. Shellman is an outstanding athlete, and I really figured he would play a huge role in this football game, but to this point, he's been, sort of quiet. Pistol formation for Rodriguez. Stevenson right behind him now, just to the right of him. We're running the option, and he gets the pitch. Stevenson has the pitch, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A 1-yard loss back to the 31-yard line. There's a flag down, and it's going to be against Bonham, and our spotter, Stephen Braswell, says illegal motion.
And he is correct. That was an illegal motion, legal shift against the Warriors.
Well, when Stevenson went in motion, he was moving forward toward the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. Can't do that, so they back him up 5. Yeah, this isn't the CFL. All right, so it's first down and 15 now for the Warriors, and the flag is still on the ground. Need to pick this one up. They're coming back to the line of scrimmage. Pick up that flag. There you go.
Kind of forgot that laying out there in the middle of the field.
So the Warriors come to the line of scrimmage. There's 8:44 on the clock. 2 receivers split out near side, including Stewart at the bottom. Moving right to left is Bonham. And they give the hand to Stevenson, rather. And he'll gain maybe a yard or up to the line of scrimmage. So not much doing there, back to the 27-yard line.
Their draw at the middle didn't get much of a push there on the offensive line, not much of a gain. And so I talked about the last possession was the most important one. I think this one, until you get a stop somewhere, each possession, offensive possession, is going to be the most important until you can get a stop on Van Alstyne.
So the ball is spotted at the 27. It's second down and 15 for the Warriors. Stevenson to the left side, and Shellman comes in motion now. First time we've seen that behind Rodriguez. And deep down the field, Rodriguez looking for the home run ball. Stewart, and the bumping and grinding, and the Bonham crowd wants a flag. Feet were tangled up at the 42-yard line, and you can hear the Bonham crowd. They are not happy. They wanted a flag. No flag was thrown.
It was intended for Stewart. Cam Montgomery was right with him. Yeah, you're right. Legs got tangled. There was some pushing, a little bit of hand checking there, but no flag. They just kind of let him play on that. Coach Fish doesn't like it, but it's going to be a third down now, 3rd and long for the Warriors.
3rd down and 15 for Bonham, and you've got to, if you're a Warrior fan, you've got to stay, toe-to-toe right here. This is a huge play, and you've got, one of the North Texas biggest weapons in Rodriguez. You expect a big play from him right here. Drops back 3 steps. 3rd and 15, flushed out of the pocket, throws the screen to the near side, Stevenson, and he's thrown out of bounds by Montgomery. A great play by Cam Montgomery to shut down the Bonham screen pass at the 30-yard line.
Rodriguez was trying to go downfield, saw nobody down there, and went to a safety valve to Stevenson over on the left side, and not able to get the first down.
So 4th down and 12, and Bonham appears to be going for it from their own 31-yard line. And now they'll drop back. It appears to be in punt formation. And I think that's Shellman going to do the punting from his own 20, and he will boot it away. A high wobbly kick going to bounce in front of Austin Moore, and it'll take a Bonham roll nearly to the 40, and it'll be down at the 41-yard line in Van Alstyne's side of the field.
Mark it down, 7:38 in the third quarter, our first punt of the game.
A punt.
Didn't think we'd see that in the first 4 minutes of the game, did we?
Didn't think so. 7:38 on the clock here in quarter number 3, and Van Alstyne starts at their own 41-yard line, leading 57-42. And here is Gallagher running straight up the middle, and he's going to have a loss for one of the few times tonight, a loss of 2, as he tried to run straight up the gut, and they'll push him back to the 39.
So Ron Robertson, number 33, one of the defensive ends, kind of plays an outside linebacker there in on the tackle. He's, again, one of the leaders on this defense, only a sophomore. And as I said earlier on offense, again, this is a defensive possession that's important for the Warriors if they want to stay with the Panthers.
2nd down and 12 coming up. Gallagher in the gun, and he'll hand off to Carroll coming near side, shakes a defender, and then shoestring tackled at the 40-yard line by linebacker Aiden Straub.
Straub came out from linebacker position. Good pursuit there on Carroll, able to take him down at his feet for minimal gain, and so Van Alstyne finds themselves in 3rd and long situation here.
3rd and 11 as they look to the sidelines for the new play. There's 6:36 on the clock, it's rolling. And Gallagher looks down at his play card, strapped across his waist, and now he fakes the hand to Carroll, looking deep down the field, looking for Porter, and it's going to be incomplete. It looked as if the ball may have sailed out of Gallagher's hand for a moment. That didn't look like a pure pass that he normally throws, and now it's punt time for Van Alstyne for the first time tonight.
Yeah, looked like a dead duck there. I mean, just kind of went up in the air, and Porter couldn't come down with it or couldn't get underneath it. I wonder if it slipped out of his hand or somebody hit his arm or something, but that didn't look right when it came out.
Yeah, it didn't look right. Something up with that one. So Bonham's going to take over possession, one would think, after this punt. And the punt by Gallagher is a wobbly spiral. It's going to bounce at the 31 and take a good Panther bounce inside the 20. And Bonham's going to start at their own 19-yard line. A great punt by Gallagher. It wasn't a high hanger, but it was a low line drive with a good roll.
It usually takes teams a couple of possessions to kind of get comfortable and get their feet under them. It's taken the defenses about 2.5 quarters now to get their feet under them. We've seen a back-to-back punts now.
Well, one thing's for sure, the defenses haven't been on the field a whole lot.
Right.
So Bonham here we go, right to left with Rodriguez, 2 men in motion. And Stevenson and Shellman together, and now Rodriguez wants to run. Right guard bounces it out to the outside, and he gains about 5 near the 24-yard line. 2nd down and 5 coming up.
Another design run there for Rodriguez. He shifted Stevenson and Shellman in motion there and then put them both side by side right next to him and used them as blockers.
The safety, Gage Proctor, makes the stop for Van Alstyne. 2nd down and 5. 5:48 on the clock here in the third quarter. Stevenson to the left side of Rodriguez, who gets the carry, running straight up. Nope, Rodriguez keeps it around the left edge. A great play fake. He has the first down at the 34-yard line.
Faked it to Stevenson. It faked out the Van Alstyne defense. It faked out us because we thought Stevenson had it.
Carolina is right down there and can see that play fake. How good is that fake right down there by Rodriguez?
Very, very good, and they all have been. There's been several times where I thought he has thrown, but kept it and kept running.
So the ball's at the 34, right to left goes Bonham. 5:09 and rolling here in the third. Not as much excitement as there was in quarter number one, but here is Rodriguez looking down the field, throwing it right. It's going to be caught, incomplete rather, looking for Singleton, and that's the second time Singleton's had the ball go through his hands and incomplete.
I think Rodriguez had to get rid of that just a second quicker than he wanted to. He had Hunter Griffin come, and for the first time, I think, for a pass, Rodriguez was put down on his backside there, and Griffin was barreling down on him.
4:58. Griffin had a tremendous sack earlier in the game to sack Rodriguez for about a 10-yard loss and a turnover on downs, and another one right there. 4:58 on the clock. Two receivers far side. Stewart at the bottom, Rodriguez in the gun. Stevenson to his left. Rodriguez wants to run around the near side, looking for a block by Stevenson. Gets a little bit of one, and maybe 4 or 5 yards, maybe 3 yards perhaps, to the 38-yard line.
Yards are starting to come a little bit tougher now for Rodriguez and the Warriors.
Well, you would think that their legs are probably just worn out. I mean, how many 60-yard touchdowns have we had tonight?
I know, right? 3 touchdowns by Rodriguez, or just running the ball.
Head coach John Fish delivering the play in, along with his offensive coordinator Tucker Carter. 2nd down and 6 for the Warriors, right to left. Rodriguez sends Stevenson to the left. Man in motion from far to the near is Bowser, but whistles before this one gets underway, and it's against Bonham. Back it up. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 instead of 3rd down and 5.
And that's a big one there for this offense that's been, I'll say, sputtering by their normal standards. Just not as many big plays here, but put them in 3rd and 10 situations. Maybe a difficult situation here for the Warriors.
Hurry up! The Bonham fans are impatient now. You hear that? One Bonham fan yells, "Hurry up!" There is 6 on the play clock. 5, 4. And Rodriguez gets it, drops back 3 steps, looks across the middle, opens it up to the near side. He's going to run 40, near midfield, 45, shakes the defender, and finally caught at the 39-yard line by Austin Moore, who saved that tackle.
Ignore what I said about the big plays. Rodriguez back to pass and then found nobody and was just, again, just like he was shot out of a can there and just had open field and just so evasive, so hard to bring down, and able to get into Warrior territory or Van Alstyne territory.
You know, you're only one big play away, and both of these offensive teams have big plays all in their books. They fake the hand to Shellman, and Rodriguez keeps it around right tackle and buried after a 4-yard gain near the 35-yard line.
You got to think too. Him and Gallagher both. You know, with a lot of the runs they had, they got to be sore after a game, especially a game like this, where you've run a lot, you've been hit pretty hard. Doing it all for a district championship tonight.
I tell you what, they're going to be awfully sore tomorrow. That's for sure. They're going to be sore. Stevenson to the right of Rodriguez, looks that way, now throws near side. Jarrell Stewart goes in and out of his hands on the bubble screen. He was looking for a block, but the route was jumped by Proctor, who played it nicely. He came up. Proctor knew exactly what was coming, and he tried to pick it off even, but batted it away. And it'll be 3rd down now for the Warriors. Moving right to left, headed towards that east end zone at the 35.
Proctor was in on that. Drellin Davis was also right there, and it was a little bit off target there for Shellman. Was Shellman we said? Or
Stewart.
I'm sorry, for Stewart.
So Shellman is in the near slot, and Bowser is at the line of scrimmage slot. Stewart near side split out. Looking that way is Rodriguez. Deep down the field for Shellman at the end zone. Made a great catch. A flag down is at the goal line. It is incomplete. It came out of his hands, but a flag is down right at the goal line.
I think that's going to be Sam Rappel who will get pass interference on him. He was in coverage along with, I couldn't see who the other defender, maybe Austin Moore back there. And just, Shellman couldn't hang on to it.
It would have been an absolute amazing catch if Shellman could have hung on to that. Willie Mays type catch. But as you can hear from the Warrior fans, it's a big penalty against Van Alstyne, which takes the ball to the 20-yard line. And here comes Bonham in the swinging gate. Look out here.
Center and Rodriguez by themselves, and this is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. And they look to the line of scrimmage to get the play. Everybody bunched together on the numbers on the near side. And now Bowser will go in motion, and everybody else will move to the regular positions on offense. That was dangerous. Rodriguez gets it, hands off Stevenson, up the middle 2 yards, crosses the 20, perhaps to the 19-yard line, maybe a gain of 1.
That was interesting. They're just kind of showing their cards, just seeing what Van Alstyne would do in that swinging gate formation, and just showed it and decided to go back into a regular formation and draw up the middle.
Well, they had a center, and they had Rodriguez, and that's all they had on offense up the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 defenders from Van Alstyne standing right over the center. Even the 2 defenders, if Rodriguez gets it, he can shake 2 defenders.
Oh, yeah.
That was dangerous looking. So we come back to action, second down and 9, 2:33 on the clock here in the third quarter. Things have slowed down a little bit. Rodriguez flushed out of the pocket, coming near side, looking, going to run, 20, 19, 15, 10, 5, strolls, walk the dog into the end zone. Tyler Rodriguez again puts Bonham on the board, and they cut the gap, 57-48, awaiting the PAT.
Justin Barnes was there in pursuit, and Rodriguez did a couple of fakes there, and Barnes just couldn't keep up with him, and Rodriguez able to go in for his 4th rushing touchdown of the night.
19 yards for Rodriguez, and he walked it in. The PAT is good, and Bonham puts 49 on the board, and it's a 1-touchdown game. We'll be back right after this timeout.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Welcome back, as it was a 10-play, 81-yard drive. And look at that. It took almost 4 minutes off the clock. That's probably the most unbelievable part about anything that's happened tonight.
That's a Hal Bulldog type of drive right there.
19 yards.
Bleed the clock.
On the touchdown for Tyler Rodriguez, and that caps it off, and we're at 56-49. Or 57 rather, 49 here in Bonham. And here is the kickoff going to, guess who? Austin Moore, and he will be down this time after a minimal gain to the 37-yard line, where Van Alstyne will take over with 2:18 on the clock.
I got to tell you, Monty, that actually was number 6, not Austin Moore.
Oh, was that Cuthbertson?
Yeah, we were actually talking about that. Don't kick to him, and Austin was actually on the other side of the field.
Well, hey, it only took about 7 kicks to figure it out.
Exactly.
And 2 touchdowns.
So VA will start from their own 37. 2:18 on the clock, moving left to right towards the west end zone. Gallagher in the pistol, hands off straight up the middle. Jake Carroll, he's got some running room midfield. 45, looking for a block by Davis, gets one to the 35, 30, and spun and thrown down at the 22-yard line by the cornerback, Adrian Fuller, who just grabbed Carroll and slung him to the ground. A big run by Carroll.
Carroll, who's had some trouble getting some yards here in the last couple of drives there. A big hole opens up, angles his way to the right sidelines, and so all the way down almost to the red zone here. Big run there by the Panthers.
41-yard run by Carroll as we're getting close to the fourth quarter mark. 1:50 on the clock. Van Alstyne taking their time a little bit, looking over to the sidelines, wanting the call. Waiting on the offensive coordinator, Garrett Patterson. And they're at 3 seconds on the clock. They snap it with 2. Handoff, Jake Carroll, left tackle. Crosses the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
Tackle there made by number 54, I believe, De La Rosa. In on the tackle on the draw at the middle there to Carroll.
1:20 on the clock here in quarter number 3. Again, Van Alstyne starting to take a little time here. 57-49 is the score. Van Alstyne in the lead. Gallagher in the pistol, man in motion is Cuthbertson coming from left to right. They hand off to Carroll once again, straight up the middle. He bounces out of a tackle, crosses the 15 to the 14-yard line, nears the first down, about 2 yards short.
Good job there by Straw to be able to come in and bring him down before he got to the first down marker. Brings up a 3rd and 2 now. A crucial 3rd down here for Bonham defense.
You know, I think you got to put it in the hands of your quarterback right here. Gallagher on 3rd down and 2. Man in motion. They fake it to him. He's running straight up the middle. He's got the 10. He's got the 5. He's got the pylon. He's got the touchdown. VA goes up once again, crossing the 60 mark. 63-49 with 28 seconds left to go in the 3rd.
You said to put it in Gallagher's hands is exactly what they did. He broke it to the outside, or went up the middle, bounced the outside, and it was just a race to the pylon.
So now Beckham to put through the PAT. Gallagher, who just scored again, to hold here on the PAT. The snap is good. It's on the tee. The kick is up. Kick is right down the middle, and it's good. 64-39. 49 rather, here at Warrior Stadium. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company. VA all the way.
Beckham's kick is going to be taken at the 14-yard line by Shellman, who runs it up the near hash and is going to be pushed backwards, crossing the 30 to the 32-yard line, and that's where Bonham will start.
Check with Blake Burnett. That was Gallagher's 4th rushing touchdown of the night. He's got 3 passing. He's got 7 total touchdowns tonight.
I said I was going to call 11 on the night. I think we've surpassed that. Ball at the 32, right to left. Bonham, and I tell you what, there's smoke coming out of the pen of Blake Burnett over there.
Oh man!
I think he might be on his 2nd pin. As a matter of fact. So 1st and 10. Rodriguez in the pistol moves. Stevenson in motion now, and a little shovel pass to Shellman, near side, 35, 40. Look out, 45, and wrestled down after a 13-yard gain on the near side. And Shellman, who has been quiet tonight, makes an appearance for a stick mover. And he'll be brought down by Austin Moore. Quickly, Bonham to the line of scrimmage. 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Rodriguez with trips to the right side, screen pass. Shellman again, and he breaks through 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, crosses midfield into Van Alstyne territory at the 48-yard line. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It is a lot of points tonight. 64-49. Van Alstyne in the lead on the road here at Bonham. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Some people say insurance is like a boring lunchroom menu, but I'm here to tell you that when you represent hundreds of companies, insurance is like an array of tacos, burgers, Italian cuisines, and a hometown catfish buffet. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass offers you home, auto, life, and commercial insurance. Call Randy at 903-583-2004. He can offer Safeco, Nationwide, Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, State Auto, and Hartford. Call for a free quote today. TWFG Insurance Randy Pendergrass supports the Bonham Purple Warriors.
We are now in quarter number 4. How many points is that? Is that
113?
113? That's math. I don't do math very well.
So I was telling Steven, I was like, man, if the over-under on this right now.
What if we have another fourth quarter like we had the first?
Oh, my. Well, 64 is the high for Van Alstyne this season.
Yeah, I'm almost out of room on my chart. And, when we were doing Howe games back in the Dale West days of the slot T, they would run 17-play drives. And my chart, I would have maybe 8 possessions the whole game, and sometimes. And we're looking at 26 possessions so far, and we're just entering the fourth quarter. I'm definitely going to run out of room on my sheet here. I really don't know what I'm going to do after that. We'll figure it out.
We had 8 possessions in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was, 9 actually.
Oh, okay. I was joking, but okay. Wow.
Yeah. So here we go, back to action, left to right. Bonham at the Van Alstyne 48-yard line. 2nd down and 5, and whistles before this one can get underway. False start against Bonham. They'll back it up 5, back on their own side of the field at the 47. 47-yard line. Is that right? Yep, 47.
That's not a good way to start a quarter. Or do you just had a break, a chance to kind of talk about your next play, your next drive?
So here's Rodriguez, and if they're going to win this game, it's going to be in the hands of Rodriguez. 3 receivers near side, 1 up at the top, and that's Stewart. And Rodriguez wants to look that way. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Now he's running. Now slings it down the field, incomplete. Again looking for Singleton, and he had to dive to try to make that one. It was about a step out of reach, and that one falls incomplete. 3rd down coming up, 3rd down and 8 perhaps for Bonham, needing a big play here to stay in this football game.
They had 4 defensive linemen there rushing, and Zachary Monsieur, the linebacker, was right there spying on Rodriguez.
We'll take a quick timeout as Bonham calls one. We'll be right back right after this.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of the Van Alstyne Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Caroline, how, the game has slowed down a little bit. Are you able to relax a little bit now?
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all.
You look down there and see they're all bundled up.
Yes, it's made it a little cooler, then I don't have to walk as much. But, no, this game is, it's 64-49. Truly, you can't count any one of these teams out. Anything could change. These teams are very good, and it's a very good game.
3rd down and 8. Big play here for Bonham, left to right. Just near midfield, just shy of it. Stevenson to the right of Rodriguez, who drops back 3 steps, looks down the field, flushed out of the pocket, now wants to run up the middle of the field, 50. He bangs over a defender at the 48-yard line, and it's 4th down territory here, needing 3 just past midfield at the 48.
A good job there, zeroing in on Rodriguez. They were not going to let him beat him. And good job there by him by containing that run, keeping it minimal. So it's going to be a 4th down and 3. It's obviously 4th down territory for the Warriors, and they need this right now.
You got to give a lot of credit to Cam Montgomery on the far side, the cornerback, because Rodriguez has been wanting to throw the ball to Jarrell Stewart on the past several plays. He has not been able to do so because Stewart's been covered nicely by Montgomery over there. 4th down and 4. Here you go. Rodriguez. And he wants to throw, setting it up down the field, and it's going to be caught by Stewart at the 39-yard line. We were just talking about him being covered up by Montgomery, but this time Stewart got an inside route, ran a slant on the inside hip of Montgomery, beat him to the ball, first down Bonham.
And just a great pass there, a laser thrown by Rodriguez right in the spot where he needed to be, where Stewart could get it and able to get the first down.
They come up to the line of scrimmage, left to right, going Bonham. 2 men in the backfield. They both move, Shellman and Stevenson, both to the right side. Rodriguez wants to run, thought about running up the middle now, bounces it out to the right 40. He's got the 35 and runs out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain to the 34-yard line.
Again, another design run. He bounced outside, had a couple of people grab a hold of his jersey, but again, he's not very big. He's just shifty and quick.
Is it still November the 9th?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because this game feels like it's going on for about 4 days. 10:26 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Second down and 5. Same formation with Stevenson and Shellman to the right side. Rodriguez wants to run right behind him, and he does. Crosses the 30 for a first down at the 29-yard line, and a flag down in the vicinity of Drellin Davis and Tristan Singleton. There was maybe some extracurricular. It's going to be holding. I think it's a holding call against Bonham, Tristan Singleton.
Yeah, I saw that too between Single and Davis.
They were all wrapped up together behind the line of scrimmage after that play. What a terrible situation for Bonham, as it looks like they were just, getting on track there offensively to keep the sticks moving, but the big penalty moves it back to the 44-yard line. Rodriguez with Stevenson to his left, 2 receivers either side, looking to throw, looking Stewart's way, same play, inside route, caught for about 14 yards to the 30-yard line, and Stewart is a machine.
He's starting to get warmed up here, and they gave him a little bit of cushion there, and we've talked about that out there. They gave him a little bit of cushion. If they were able to move up on him and tighten their covers, they could go for the big play over the head.
There's still absolutely no way that kid is 5'10", 155 or whatever they have him. There's just no way. He's a big possession receiver. Third down and 1, 9:34 to go in the game. Rodriguez sends Stevenson to his right. 2 receivers near side, 1 up top, and handoff Stevenson. And he'll gain 4, enough for a first down to the 24-yard line.
Well, it's a nice play. 3rd and 1, draw at the middle, get Stevenson, get that first down, get you a fresh set of downs, and go back to work.
I said 24, 26-yard line. So Nazarko on the stop for Van Alstyne, and things getting kind of quiet here in Bonham as they know they've got a tough road to hoe. Down 64-49, but they aren't driving. In Van Alstyne territory at the 26-yard line. Rodriguez looks, he's going to fake it, now he's going to run it up the middle. He's got the 20, he's got the 15, he's got the 10, he's got the 5. He dives for the end zone, and he is in. Tyler Rodriguez does it again. He puts Bonham on the board.
Oh, man, and we got a melee in the middle of the field.
And now we've got a fight in the middle of the field between both teams. It's broken up by John Fish. And I'm not sure there are flags there. But that John Fish is in the middle of the field at the hash talking to the official, trying to figure out what's going on. But there was a melee at the 25-yard line on the right hash.
It was a melee between a lot of the big boys there, that defensive and offensive line between Van Alstyne and Bonham.
Right now it's 64-55 with 8:58 left to go in the game, and we're ready for the PAT. It's going to be offsetting penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams. Was there an ejection?
I didn't see one.
Okay. No ejection that we can see. So it's Gandera on for the PAT to try to make it 64-56. The snap is back. It's on the tee. Gandera's kick almost blocked by Austin Moore. Davis, but the kick is good. And Bonham narrows the gap again, and back and forth we go. 64-56. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
At Adams Automotive and Towing, they do it all, from diesel repair to engines, brakes, routine maintenance, transmissions, exhaust, tire sales, alignment, oil changes, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Adams Automotive can be reached at 903-482-5784 or at adamsautotow.com. They support the Van Alstyne Panthers 24/7. Find them on Facebook at Adams Automotive and Towing, and you can request a quote immediately online. Adams Automotive and Towing are proud supporters of the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Welcome back. We let's see. We have a 9-play, 68-yard drive, capped off by a 20. Was that a 24-yarder?
I believe
I think that
something like that.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
By none other than Rodriguez.
And that's his 5th rushing touchdown of the night.
And it's 64-56. With 8:58 left to go in the game. Man.
Yeah, John Fish rushed out to that during that melee. He didn't want to lose any players to the ejection, so he was quickly to get out there to break up that fight earlier.
Okay, so let's see. That was Bonham. And now we got VA. Not sure how I did that, but I might have skipped somebody. Oh. There we go. Now we got VA. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of wrestling with numbers. There's so much going on. Here's the pooch kick. Going to be taken by Cuthbertson at the 40-yard line. And Van Alstyne will be moving right to left. Bonham, if they're going to try to have a chance to win this football game, have to have a stop probably right here on this possession.
Yeah, they can't afford to just keep going back and forth. And we talk about off air, too. They're going to have to, at some point, they're going to need to have a 2-point conversion. But they need to get a stop right now.
So Gallagher goes back to work, and he's in the pistol formation. He'll hand off to Carroll. Carroll rumbles for about a yard to the 41-yard line, and a 2nd down and 9 coming up.
And this may be where we see a heavy dosage of Carroll and maybe Justin Barnes, and see if they can bleed some more time off this clock as it's 8:41 and counting.
Yeah, I would imagine, I don't know whether you want to play it too conservative here. Because Van Alstyne, they're just like Bonham, they can score at will at any time. You put the ball in your quarterback's hands and he can go. And they want to throw this time. Gallagher flushed down the pocket, going far side, just heaves it out of bounds. A very smart play by the quarterback. And it'll be 3rd down and 9 coming up. And at Bonham, they were sniffing out a stop. Right now they have a chance to do so.
Yeah, they were pursuing him. Ryan Robertson again, one of the players on that pursuit there. And Gallagher did a smart thing of just throwing it away and not costing his team any more yardage.
3rd down and 9. The Bonham crowd comes to their feet. As Gallagher and Carroll stand together and look to the sidelines to get the play. Gallagher looks down at his wristband, and he's got it. 3rd down and 9. Man in motion, Proctor from right to left. And Gallagher's flushed out, setting up the screen to Carroll at the 40, makes the catch near midfield, 1st down to the 48-yard line in Bonham territory. A beautiful play call as Gallagher dropped back about 7 steps. You knew the screen was being set up. Carroll made the catch and made a couple of men miss.
And that was all Jake Carroll. A couple of arm tackles, he broke through and got that about 7 yards behind the sticks, or behind the 1st down marker, and able to break some tackles and get a 1st down. That's all Jake Carroll.
And you can hear that quieten the crowd here in Bonham, Texas, as we're at 7:51 in quarter number 4. Gallagher in the pistol formation, and he's going to run to the right side looking for a block, gets a block, now comes back to the near side. It's a foot race to the 35-30. Nobody's going to catch him if he gets a block. 20, and now he stumbles a bit to the 5, makes a couple of men miss right there in back of the 6-yard line, and now a flag is down right where Gallagher is down at the 6-yard line.
He reversed field, went to the right side, reversed field back to the left, and he was trying to stay in bounds. He thought about stepping out of bounds. He thought, I'm going to stay in bounds to keep this clock moving.
42-yard run, but let's check the flag. It's right at the end of the play, and it's against Bonham, and apparently it's half the distance of the goal, which puts the ball just outside the 3-yard line. So now Van Alstyne will apparently start trying to take some time off of this thing. They've got you know, here's a situation where you can probably take a lot of time and maybe take 3 plays to punch it in.
Absolutely.
We'll see what Gallagher does. Low snap, hands off Carroll near side, struggling and fighting and pushed down at the 1-yard line.
You just got to be sure you hold on the ball, too, if you're going to conserve and run the ball here like this.
And that might be the best thing that could have happened to Van Alstyne as Carroll got stopped at the 1. They can take some more time off the clock, 6:57 here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you can tell that's what they're trying to do. They're in a great position right here to be inside the 5, three downs to punch this in, really 4 to punch it in and take as much time off the clock as they want.
Yeah, they're standing and looking. There's 10 seconds on the play clock. And now Gallagher wants it, low snap again, and he's going to easily walk the dog into the end zone, a late tackle in the end zone. But Gallagher once again punches it through, and it is 70 now to 56.
And I believe that is his 5th rushing touchdown of the night.
Man. Wow. So Beckham now on for the PAT to try to make it 71. It's on the tee. The kick is a low line driver that splits the uprights, and it's good. 71-56, our new score here in Bonham, Texas. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back right after this.
Have you been in the Lone Star in Van Alstyne lately? If not, here's what you're missing. Me Taco, a build-your-own taco shop where your food is made your way. Texacona Coffee Lodge, serving specialty coffee and baked goods and made on-site daily. Subway, eat fresh. A large dining area with free Wi-Fi. Newly renovated restrooms. Then there's the Lone Star Savers Reward Program, helping the customers save time and money. But the best thing about Lone Star in Van Alstyne? It's in Van Alstyne, where we've been supporting the Panthers for over 20 years. Have you been in the...
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Shellman takes the kickoff at the 10-yard line and runs it back to about the 20, where he's pushed back by Van Alstyne, and the Bonham Warriors have got 80 yards to go, or 25-yard line rather, sorry about that. They've got 75 yards to go, and 15 points?
Yeah, so they kind of need, and it's 6:22 to go, so they kind of need to make this a quick score here.
Well, if anybody can score quick, it is the either one of them.
Either one of them can score quick.
It is Bonham and it is Van Alstyne, so either one. Pick your poison, as Rodriguez is in the gun. And he wants to throw. 3-step drop looking left side, and now he's flushed out of the pocket and brought down by, once again, Hunter Griffin with a great stop. And Rodriguez gets back to the line of scrimmage to the 25, and it's 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Again, that's great coverage there by Van Alstyne. It looks like they're just rushing 3 or 4, and then they got a spy there in the middle kind of watching Rodriguez.
So Bonham now taking some time. 5:51 and rolling here on the clock, and they're not in any hurry.
I wonder at what point Bonham just says, let's live to see another day. We're making the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe this is it. Shotgun for Rodriguez, and he'll hand off this time to Stevenson around the left side, and he'll gain maybe 6 yards to the 31-yard line. It appears that's what's happened at that moment, as they took their time, ran a lot of time off the clock, and then handed it off to Stevenson. So a change in philosophy for the first time tonight by Bonham is just let this thing go, apparently.
Yeah, and just maybe just let it go, not get any injuries, and you just live to see another day for next week against playoffs against either Eustis or Madison.
The winner of that game, let's see, Eustis or Madison, the loser of that game will be against Van Alstyne, it appears. And here's Rodriguez throwing it near side. It's going to be caught at the 35-yard line. A new receiver into the game for the Bonham Warriors, and that is Eli Fulmer. and that'll be a first down for the Warriors at the 37-yard line.
And that's Eustis that has won that game, Monty, 31-26 over Dallas Madison.
So Houston won, which means Madison is the
fourth seed.
Eustis is the third. Here's Rodriguez wanting to throw right side, and it's going to be tipped and intercepted by Justin Barnes at the 47-yard line. Near side 30, and barrels over at Rodriguez, rather. He runs right over him at the 26-yard line, lowers his shoulder, and Barnes with a big pick.
It was on a deflection there, and just right in the middle, right in the hands of Barnes. He was trying to fit it in a small window, and then Barnes at the end, he's a running back on offense and just barrels over Rodriguez on the return.
So Van Alstyne now has the ball at the Bonham 26-yard line. There's 4:22 on the clock. And Bonham has already showed that they have kind of submitted in this game. Now, they still are throwing the football, but they've definitely changed philosophies. Let's see what Van Alstyne does here from the 26-yard line of Bonham. Gallagher's going to hand off to Carroll straight up the middle, 20, 15, 10, cuts it back up at the 5 and down at the 2-yard line.
And Jake Carroll just running with a full head of steam there on that big run there down inside the 5-yard line. And Van Alstyne is trying to take time off the clock. They're not throwing it, but if they got green grass ahead of them, they're going to run the ball.
24 yards on the carry for Carroll, and he has had a big night tonight. Van Alstyne taking all kinds of time off the clock as we're now under the 4-minute mark. A mass exodus of the stadium by Bonham fans as they're trying to, I guess they're trying to beat the Dairy Queen crowd. Gallagher in the gun, Rempel to his right, and now it appears to be a delay of game against Van Alstyne. And they'll back that one up 5 yards from
timeout.
The 2. Or is it a timeout?
Yes, timeout.
We'll take one, too. We'll be right back right after this.
At Grayson Collin Electric Cooperative, GCEC, our mission is to provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. We strive to serve the members of GCEC with 3 objectives: community, education, and empowerment. We were founded over 80 years ago, and while our area has changed over the years, one thing will always remain the same. We will provide the very best possible service at the very least possible cost. GCEC, proud to support the Van Alstyne Panthers.
Okay, we're going to send Sweet Caroline on a mission after the game. We'll see if she can, I don't know how she's going to do this. We'll see if she can talk to both head coaches, John Fish and Michael Miller, after the game. That's going to be quite a chore. I would definitely like to maybe get Rhett Gallagher on an interview, the quarterback for Van Alstyne. Would love to see his feelings about this game. And you know, that first quarter was just amazing. I'd love to see his take on that first quarter.
Wow, yeah.
3:43 on the clock. Gallagher's going to run it in, it appears, for another touchdown. He's in. Touchdown, Van Alstyne. Salt in the wounds, 77-56 with 3:39 to go in the game.
Yeah, quarterback design run. Guess what? To Gallagher. And Gallagher with his 6th rushing touchdown of the night.
So Beckham on for the PAT. It is up, and it is true, 78-56. You wanted to know who's the better offense in District 5-3A. Well, the Van Alstyne Panthers, they kind of say, hey, it be me.
Texoma Barn Company is a family-owned business right here in Van Alstyne. There's nothing too big or too small, for as they build barn dominiums, shops, garages, arenas, you name it. Owner David Griffin is a national commercial-grade builder with over 30 years of experience. You can visit TexomaBarnCompany.com or call them at 844-500-BARN. They're on Facebook also at Texoma Barn Company. They've completed over 200 projects in 5 years. Let yours be the next. Texoma Barn Company, VA all the way.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that.
We're going to have to come back as the officials are not giving us any time whatsoever in between timeouts. So Beckham's going to boot this one away, and it's going to be a deep kick to Shellman at the 11-yard line. Coming to the middle of the field from the far side And right up looking for a block. It's finally brought down at the 35-yard line. And Bonham, who's trailing now by 22, will probably just try to take the rest of this 331, I would imagine.
I would think so. So, yeah, with Van Alstyne winning the district, what do we say that? So they would play Dallas Madison, and then Bonham would play Eustis, if I'm reading that correctly.
I'm sorry, I was writing. Tell me that again.
I think, if I'm looking correctly, I think Dallas Madison will play Van Alstyne because they got fourth place district. Van Alstyne wins it.
No. Hang on. Drop back 3 steps is Rodriguez. He's flushed out, and he's got a lot of room along the far side. Darts past the defender. First down run to the 48-yard line. So let's look at this, because it appears to me that the winner of District 5 plays fourth place District 6, right? So that would be, yeah, you're right, Dallas Madison. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I shouldn't question you. Why do I do that? Ball at the 48. Rodriguez. It will roll out to the near side. Rolling right, throwing on the run. And it's caught by Bowser, and he'll have a first down to the 40-yard line. 4:39 they'll give him.
Bulldogs. Warriors are still passing the ball here, still trying to, they can still work on some things here. Of course, their offenses look pretty well all night long.
It appears that Bonham will play on Thursday, from what I understand.
Okay.
And Van Alstyne, it looks like, will play on Friday. 1st and 10, left to right for the Warriors. Rodriguez drops back 3 steps, looks left, look down the field. Jarrell Stewart covered up once again by Montgomery, and Rodriguez is going to run to the right side and pick up 6 or 7 yards to the 32-yard line.
Rodriguez just hadn't been able to go downfield here. The last, probably most of this second half, they've done a good job coverage downfield, and just they're not letting up the big play. He's going to just dinking and diving here.
2:30 on the clock. Down by 22. And not quitting here. Stevenson to the left side of Rodriguez. And all kinds of time. Throws it for Stewart, but it's incomplete. He one-hopped his receiver. And it'll be 3rd down now and about 4 from the Van Alstyne 30-yard line, 32-yard line.
Rodriguez just a little off target on that last throw.
Rodriguez has been so impressive tonight. He's so dangerous. Both of these quarterbacks are just outstanding. I can't remember the last time I've seen a quarterback duel like this. And this time Rodriguez throws out to Stewart. He has to go down to make the catch in a squat position, but he does, and moves the sticks to the 23-yard line. As many catches as Jarrell Stewart has made, he hasn't been the big impact. I have to give Cam Montgomery so much credit over there on the far side. Man, mano against Stewart is not easy.
He's pretty good one-on-one.
So here's Rodriguez looking that way again. Pumps, now looks down the field, deep down the field in the end zone, and overshoots Bowser a yard shy of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. $1:53 left to go in the game.
And you got to think between these two teams here, Monty, Rodriguez and Gallagher. I was thinking about on my drive over here. I was thinking these are the 2 district MVPs of this district.
Who do you give it to?
I would have before this game. I probably would have said Rodriguez because he's the leader of this team. He's the offense that gets this thing going. But Gallagher is so darn good.
Well, they're both amazing. I don't know how you pick one over the other. Rodriguez throws out left. It's going to be caught by Shellman for about 9 yards, and a beautiful throw by Rodriguez. Shellman makes a great catch for about 9.
And 2, you got to give John Fish Coach of the Year. I mean, this team went from, what were they last year?
3-7.
3-7 last year. They were 1-9, 2-8 a couple years ago. Had a 0-10 season 2 or 3 years ago.
Boy, was that not a good hire by the Bonham ISD.
Wow.
They're going to be hoping to keep John Fish
really?
for a while. Rodriguez slings it in the end zone. It's dropped at the 1-yard line by Bowser. And he pumps his fist in disgust.
And that was a little bit behind him. Probably could have caught that. A little bit behind him there, but at this point, the game is all but over here.
So it'll be 4th down and 1. There's a $1:42 on the clock. And Rodriguez, I'm sure, will just run this one. You would think it's got to be in Rodriguez's hands, right? 4th and 1, same thing as Gallagher when they faced the situation. But no, Stevenson gets it, and he jumps over the line of scrimmage, and he may not have it. I think he does, however.
I thought he did. I thought he jumped.
Yeah, he has enough for the first down. They'll move the sticks as he jumped to the 11-yard line.
He jumped right to the arms of Zachary Monsier, but it was just a yard past the first down marker.
You know, this has been quite the night. We've been on the air for 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
It's not like those How nights when we're done by 10 o'clock, huh?
Right.
9:45.
You know, congratulations to Dale West, by the way, and the Collinsville Pirates as they captured the district crown over there. I'd like to say congratulations over there to them, those guys. Rodriguez looking left side end zone. That one's going to be incomplete. Looking for Jarrell Stewart, but he threw it right at his feet. A lot of white jerseys of Van Alstyne in the way of that pass as well. And now it'll set up a 2nd down and 10. Bonham can get a first down at the 1. Just outside 1st and goal situation, or 2nd and goal situation. As the ball is spotted with 1 minute left to go in the game, just outside the 10-yard line. And now a new back in there is Dylan Carl, and he'll get the handoff straight up the middle, and he'll punch his way towards about the 3-yard line. And Carl, on his first carry of the night, was shot out for 7 yards.
Yeah, fresh set of legs in there for Carl, and almost gets to the goal line, stopped short about the 3.
Rodriguez in the gun, Carl behind him, now to the left side of him. And Carl will get it again. Over right tackle, he's in. Touchdown, Bonham. We ain't done with points yet. 78-62.
I tell you what, if you're reading this in the paper tomorrow, you may be thinking this is the Bonham and Van Alstyne basketball teams going at it. It's not. This is the football teams.
This is a basketball score.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you didn't know any better.
Yeah. Stephen Braswell says it's a college basketball score. And the PAT by Gandera is good. So it's now 63. 78-63. We'll take a quick timeout. Hey, wasn't we talking about GCEC a moment ago? No, we were talking about Scoggins Funeral.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
All right, sweet Caroline, you're going to have to get your track shoes on to talk to Coach Fish and Coach Michael Miller. So, and Rhett Gallagher. We've got 3 requests from Sweet Caroline. Good to see Ricky Egg down there. Tell Ricky we said hello. Please do so for
us. Gives us a good wave. Well,
yeah. Well, he just looked up here.
He looked up at her.
Here's the kickoff. And it's going to be a high pooch kick. Austin Moore calls a fair catch at the 40-yard line. And there's only 36 seconds left to go. Hey, Stephen Braswell, take a look at this. The last one.
And probably the last possession.
I have one more line left on my sheet. And it appears that the Van Alstyne Panthers and Rhett Gallagher and company will take a knee and probably finish this one out. The coaches over here next to us for the Van Alstyne Panthers clapping their hands. They're excited, as they should be. A nice night by the Panthers. 78 points. What a classic game this was. If you, like I said, there will be some 30,000 people say that they have that we're here to witness this. But the Van Alstyne Panthers are the district champions in Class 5-3A, and they will celebrate And they will move on next Friday night, it appears, to play Dallas Madison.
Yes. Yeah, and this is well-deserved. They went up against Bonham, their high-vaunted offense. They got the defensive stops when they needed them and made the offensive plays when they needed them. Coach Fish talked about it was the team that made the least mistakes, and I think Van Alstyne made the least mistakes here tonight.
Yeah, it's a great game. Like I said, I was starting to say that, 10 years from now, there will be 33,000 people say that they were here tonight to witness that first quarter. But it was a good crowd, but I'm telling you what a game it was. 78-63. We knew it was going to be a shootout. Everybody in Grayson and Fannin County knew it was going to be a barn burner. It was exactly what we thought it would be. And I tell you what, it's going to be fun watching these teams down the road in the playoffs next week. Just electric. Both of them just electric. It's just it's fun to watch.
And you're going to be up late tonight doing highlights if you're doing them tonight.
Yeah.
My gosh, you got a lot to go through, huh?
Well, as long as I'm up by 2:30 tomorrow, as they, for the second week in a row, raise a trophy. Last week it was a silver spike. This one means more. This was a district championship raised over their heads, and what an outstanding moment for the Van Alstyne Panthers as they win District 5-3A, and they celebrate with their outstanding head coach Michael Miller and their amazing coaching staff. And I tell you what, it's going to be fun again watching these Panthers down the road. We'll keep up with the Warriors as well. Tyler Rodriguez is one of the most outstanding quarterbacks we have seen in many years. He and Rhett Gallagher going toe-to-toe tonight. And this is what high school football is all about. Two outstanding quarterbacks, two outstanding young men. And it's been a classic tonight and so much fun. Again, Caroline Slauson, as soon as the coaches are done talking to their players, as soon as we can get a chance to talk to them, we will. Caroline's kind of waiting on them to do their thing. I can't wait to get the stats either.
And Van Alstyne, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the playoffs. They don't have to face. They've lost to Sunnyvale the last 3 seasons. Sunnyvale's moved up to 4A. So
no more Sunnyvale.
So let's see what they can do here in the playoffs. But they've got a good offense. They got a pretty darn good defense as well. I know it doesn't show it tonight with the 63 points, but they came in allowing 10 points a game.
The Bonham Warriors, a lot of sad faces. Shoulders are slumped, but they have nothing to hang their heads about. They put 63 on the board against the district champions.
Absolutely.
You can take that all the way to Eustis and ride that one for a while. They have a lot to be happy about. Of course, the Van Alstyne Panthers do as well as district champions. Again, Dallas Madison lost tonight, so it appears Madison will be the opponent of the Van Alstyne Panthers Friday night, and we'll see if we can follow along and do that game as well. Caroline is walking somewhere. Is that her in the middle of the field? There
That's
she
right
is.
there's a 30-yard line.
There's a wave. We'll see if she can run up and talk to one of these coaches real quick. Might have a better opportunity to talk to Coach John Fish first, but I say that, but maybe not. The Van Alstyne Panthers again raised the trophy, the district trophy again. It's always fun to get those gold footballs, and they're raising it right now.
And hopefully, I'm sure what Coach Fish is telling his guys is that our season's not over. We still got another week at least to play football.
Yeah, no doubt. I think now the Van Alstyne Panthers are
doing their school
celebrating
song
with their school song, and most of the crowd has piled out of here. Some of the parents are starting to walk on the field on the very far side, and a happy blue and white crowd on that far side, and the white helmets in the air. But Caroline is trying to find Coach Miller, I believe, and she'll probably be able to grab him here just a second, I would imagine. Trying to find Coach Miller.
Yeah, I'm trying to look too.
And Rhett Gallagher, number 2, we'll try to see if we can capture him as well. Caroline's still looking for Coach Miller down there. I see her walking around.
I see her, yeah. She's maybe lost in the...
There's a sea of people down there.
Right.
All the parents are now swarming.
Hey, guys.
There you go.
All right, so I have Van Alstyne QB, Rhett Gallagher. He is, of course, taking some hugs, but here in just a second, Rhett, just your first thoughts. What is it like to be district champ? What does it feel like to be district champs?
Oh, it's awesome. I think VA hasn't done it since like '09, so it's great to be the first ones to do it since then. I mean, that's what we harped on all offseason. It's finally here.
So y'all ready for those playoffs?
Oh, we're pumped. We're going into it with more confidence than ever because we've been saying 11 plus since last year, and here it is. We finally put ourselves in a good position to do it. So.
Hey, Caroline, ask him if he thought 78 points would be on the board tonight.
Yeah, what did you think? This was like a basketball game. Do you think y'all score 78 points tonight?
I had no idea what to expect, to be honest with you. I had no idea, but I'm glad we came out on top. That's all that I'm worried about.
Congratulations again. Y'all deserve it.
All right, we'll try to find Coach Michael Miller here in just a moment.
Coach Miller.
At least we're like Van Alstyne colors.
It's cold. No. He asked if I wore Van Alstyne colors.
Oh.
He asked me if Monty was running his mouth. We are live on there, by the way. It's okay. So just district champs, how does it feel?
It's a great feeling. It's been a while since we've won one, and just very, very, very proud of these kids today.
We had asked Rhett 72 points. 78 points. I'm sorry. What did you expect that? Did you expect this high-scoring game?
Well, I'd like to say no, I didn't. I was hoping we would score 72, but to have to score 72 to win, I really didn't see that one coming.
Well, y'all deserve it. And are you ready for next week?
What's that?
Y'all ready for next week?
We're going to celebrate this one for a little bit. We'll be ready on Monday.
It was awesome. It was a good game. Congratulations.
All right. I think by the time you make it over here, you might be able to catch John Fish as they're just now breaking out of their group talk at somewhere about the 37-yard line. Yeah,
My legs.
A little chilly down there. I think Coach Fish is at the 39, I think.
I believe he's talking to Rodriguez.
Do you see him?
Yes.
He's talking to a player. It looks like it might be an emotional talk, but let's see if you capture Coach John Fish down there for a moment. He's walking away, I think. He's at the 40. He's giving a hug to, is that his quarterback?
No, that's
No, it's not.
Well, Coach Fish, not what you expected, maybe not what you wanted, but you have taken this team and totally turned around. I've heard you are president in this town. What has this season meant to you?
Well, first of all, it's not just me. It's the staff, it's these kids, it's this community, it's everybody. It's been an incredible regular season, and to see what these kids have accomplished has been nothing short of amazing. We knew that they were capable of it, and they've done it. And tonight didn't turn out the way we wanted. We said the best team the team that made the least amount of mistakes would win. They made less mistakes than we did.
Well,
I'm sorry, and so that that's what happens when you play really good teams. And so we got to overcome this and look forward to the playoffs.
Hey, Eustace won, Eustace won tonight. Ask him if he has playoff plans and locations and dates.
So Eustace won. So you guys will be playing them. Is that correct? Yep. So do you know any of the playoff details as far as dates and locations?
Yes, we'll play next Thursday night at Hamby Stadium in Mesquite. So it sounds like we'll play Eustace.
All right. Well, Coach, this was a great game. You guys are a great team, and congratulations. Yeah, no problem.
All right, that was our post-game interviews with Caroline Slauson, our sideline.
I'm just going to leave the mic down here. Y'all can pick it up and I'll wait.
Caroline, is this your last time with us?
This is my last game.
Oh,
I know.
The last time I get to
play it all the way through. You might as well play it all the way through.
Hey, you know what? Next week we might play it anyway.
Yes, please do. I have to thank you guys for letting me do this with you guys this season. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been fun. It has been a lot of fun, and what a night to finish it on with our sweet Caroline.
She's done a great job down there on the sidelines.
Thank you.
Just amazing. Hey, what a game it was. The final. I still have it. Fourth quarter. All right. So no, it's a final.
F.
Yeah. Capital F. Right? Yeah. There we
There
go.
you go.
F. Final. 78-63. Van Alstyne wins the district title tonight. We'll try to follow them next Friday. No guarantees. We'll try to work out the situation. Maybe we'll have our sponsors join us again, and that would be wonderful because we'd love to travel with the Van Alstyne Panthers, and it's got to be a weird sight for some of those Panthers to look at me as an old bulldog and get excited about these Panthers. But hey, they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not get excited about this type of offense here? But this has been fun, and this Van Alstyne team could do some damage in the playoffs, and so it'll be interesting to see what they can do.
We don't know if we have stats available for the end of the game. Has Blake left the building? Blake's gone. All right, well.
We may.
Is he here?
I think he needed a private room to go.
He's got a private
to do the
room.
math.
Well,
because
it may take a while because those were a lot of numbers. Oh, he has them. So let's go over some stats.
The papers are in.
All right.
The stats are in.
We just got a fax. Okay, Bonham rushing. Rodriguez, 27 carries, 296 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Golly.
Stevenson, 15 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Passing, Rodriguez, 21 out of 35, 327 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Receiving, Jarrell Stewart, 9 catches, 173 yards. You know, we were talking so good about Cam Montgomery, and he did have a great game, but Jarrell Stewart just so good out there. 9 catches, 173 yards, 2 touches. And Shellman, 6 catches, 58 yards. Reinhardt, again, only had the 1 catch for 34 yards. Injured himself on the very first play of the game, was on crutches by the end of the game. Our prayers go to the Reinhardts. And Stevenson, 2 catches and 11 yards. And it was Bowser for 2 catches and 44 yards. And then let's flip it over to Van Alstyne, whose rushing totals. Jake Carroll, 20 rushes for 251 yards.
Wow.
Rhett Gallagher, 12 rushes for 186 yards and 6 touchdowns. Passing on the night, Gallagher, 5 out of 12, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Receiving tonight, Drellin Davis, 1 catch, 50 yards, a touch. Dylan Porter, 2 catches, 51 yards and a touch. Jake Carroll, a catch for 12 yards. And Proctor, 1 catch for 46 yards and a touch. 3 out of 5 passes that Gallagher threw went for touchdowns. And again, let's not fail to mention Austin Moore, who ran 2 kickoff returns back for the Van Alstyne Panthers. And they are happy and blue tonight in Grayson County.
Yeah, a district championship for them. Did you say the first since, he said 09?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever Rhett Gallagher says, I'll take his word for it.
Yeah, but again, a great game by Van Alstyne. Again, they went toe-to-toe. That quarterback duel was just so fun to watch. They kind of settled in about the second quarter, third quarter, and then we got to see the defensive adjustments that were made.
I will tell you that from here to the end of my days, whenever that is, I will always remember this night with Tyler Rodriguez and Rhett Gallagher. What a game it was. It was an absolute classic. This game will be replayed in its entirety starting here in just a moment. When we finish this thing off, it should start up and replay here as soon as it gets done processing. For everyone who's been a part of this one, including Blake Burnett, our statistician, our wizard, who had the pen smoking tonight, our spotter Stephen Braswell, and for the last time with us this season, maybe she'll be back with us next season. We'll try to find out. Caroline Slauson, our sideline personnel. Justin White, our color analyst for the entire year. Hopefully we'll be back for another game. We'll see. We'll see if the sponsors and the Panthers will let us come back. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Monty Walker, and we will see you hopefully next week with the Van Alstyne Panthers. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to the Texas High School District Championship for Class 3A Division I, District 5. The game has been brought to you by Buck Snort Barbecue, Independent Bank, Scoggins Funeral Home, Adams Automotive, GCEC, Randy Pendergrass of TWFG Insurance Services, Texoma Barn Company, and Lone Star Food Store.
This has been a presentation of Grayson Publishing.